significant. Yeah, like Enzo's not going to have an issue buying up regardless. Karst was sitting at 12K, right?
Yeah.
Dark is roughly the same, or actually even more. So that is way better, yes, of a go for Enzo than to get a bomb plant. Obviously, in an ideal world, if someone's going to survive with 1 HP, you would have liked it to be the op going down instead of 2 rifles. But you'll take it. 2 FAMASs, no, yeah, not a lot of utility to speak of on the side of firepower.
And this is where we see the AWP. Yeah, it's gone again. They didn't bother on the T side. Cars, actually with the AK finding both entries into middle. Obviously knowing that there's not going to be much utility, it's very difficult to hold mid without it.
Yeah.
However, the AWP has managed to find one back. The round definitely not done just yet. They know where it is.
Yeah, that was Viva getting aggressive actually to find AJ in Sunroom.
See, if I'm Enzo in this scenario, I would be looking towards B. Because if you know that the AWP's there, the chances are you're not gambling 2 players if you've got an AWP. So if you can just get a trade-off, you've basically won the round.
That is fair.
Instead, they're actually going to go heading on in towards A, and that little peek out from Shoulderpie. Oh, the risk, and it pays off. Oh. That's such a risky play. He tries to duck back through the smoke, though, and it's going to be called out. It's going to be Darkest now with a chance to try and pull off the clutch, and he will be able to finish off one at least. There is going to be still Viva with that AWP. Not going to be quite on the corner to actually catch him as he crosses, so he is going to be able to retrieve the bomb.
It's not the ideal weapon you want in a 1v1 either.
Anything is, it just depends on what sort of plant he goes for. An open
Is he
plant,
just gonna
that's so risky. Yeah. That is just not worth it. You don't know where the last man is. To go for an open plant there is kind of mad.
Like, yeah, especially you've picked up a Molotov as well. So if you're going to do the open plant, at least Molotov for yourself or do something to increase your chances a little bit. That starts off with a 2-man opening for Enzo as well. And they're still not able to close out the round. Oof. Shoulderpie doing a great job there, finding 2 kills. Ooh, okay. Not too far off. He actually hit Nighttime? Or did Nighttime get knifed in the back? He has to get knifed in the back because that's a headshot setup, right? So
unless he jumped.
So, yeah, it would be like a leg shot through, but I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see it, so
I'm just gonna
either got knifed or maybe a nade through mid or something. Or like
it's too early for a nade, I think. So I'm banking on that being a nade.
Molotov will force Viva off the angle. He's been there a couple of times, so T's starting to learn from their mistakes. Obviously, last round still coming down to just one player surviving means that the CT's economy is still on the brink. T's still have a little bit left, but Zhao is going to be able to catch off AJ. A solo push. And this is where I actually do. I want to see Enzo go back to those sort of group up plays. That's where they've been so successful, just playing fairly basic, just pushes together, not individual fights. Don't hand Firepower the opportunity to use those AUGs to their advantage.
And that was the case on Mirage as well. It's been their bread and butter. No reason to change up your diet. Jeff's going to find one. And I mean, in a scenario like this, at least you can hope to do as much economical damage as possible. As you said, they've already done a good job of that so far, having 2 rounds where it's only one player surviving.
I think his teammate might have done. Yeah, I think that might have been a call from someone else because originally I don't think he did.
Yeah, Jeff's inclined to save his AK. 5 seconds left of the round. That's going to be all he takes with him. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. Holding on to what was working pretty much. Grouping up, setting up for execution. Whenever they've gone over to the default, if they've gotten openings, they haven't been able to do anything with it, and then they end up second-guessing themselves. That's probably one of their biggest weaknesses, I guess, like mid-round decision-making in terms of where they want to take it. So they're much better once they have a set plan in mind and execute that strategy than when they have to make, well, educated guesses.
Already a much faster player. Second fuel brought in for the CT side. The flashbangs are good, however.
But again, this was the tempo we were looking for, at least.
Yeah. The fact is, though, they are pushing into the more stack to the 2 sites.
So, same position as you said.
He's been caught out from this spot before. However, this time he's going to be the one doing the catch, and it's left onto Freeman. He doesn't actually go for the trade kill there. I'm quite intrigued by that. He allows Zhao to escape, and Now left into a 1v3 situation that could have been a little bit easier if he just killed off Zhao a bit earlier. Instead, he's going to be pushing back in, and this is a sort of horrible crossfire angle to try and beat. Not going to be happening. 5-power even up the scoreline, and well, now money starts to become a bit of an issue for the T side.
Yeah. Again, they start off well, tempo's there. They get mid control super easy, and then they slow it down, and things go badly. So they need to recognize the fact that when they're keeping things like the tempo high, 5-power having struggles of either getting rotations in at the right right moment, or just being able to figure out what's going on in time.
By the looks of it, they are going to look to pick up the pace. They've got a couple of pistols in here, or an MP7. Just waiting outside of that B side, but look at the full rotation already coming in. 3 players here from the CT side, 1 towards the vents as well, and the other looking to get aggressive into A main. This is just not a position that the T should be coming out of alive.
Nightmare waiting to happen. They still have the opportunity to back out of the bomb site completely, and it seems like at least 2 of the players are going to do so. Not until Nighttime has been able to find the first. Back for more. Actually finds 2. That's really well done. Quite the difference maker here on Cash compared to Mirage. So the stand-in really showing his worth. He's sitting at 12 frags. That's most by quite some bit. ED. Second stand-in. Not exactly in the same position, but
he just got his first kill, I think, either this round or the last.
So still getting rounds on the board, though, for 5-power, and that's really the big thing. Again, game starts off with a big surge from Enso, and then 5-power able to stabilize and grab things back here. And that's pretty significant as well, considering they're on the CT side.
Yeah, no, we'll be expecting to see more T rounds, but so far, 5-power looking to try and win themselves the half. This is going to be back to the A site once again. Pistols in play. They are slowly rotating off the initial decision. Maybe just waiting for the smokes to fade, making sure nobody can sneak in from behind, and now they'll start throwing in utility of their own, but shut up high already. Really picking off 1. The trade's coming back in. Nighttime doing a great job, but will eventually get one. However, Freeman not going to have any impact, and it will be a 7th on the board.
And they need to find back to the magic formula.
Freeman's actually bottom at the moment.
Yeah.
He's the only person who's like significantly lower than everybody else.
5 frags behind the closest one on his team. He hasn't really gotten into the same groove that we saw him on Mirage. Let's see if we can change that up as we get closer to the second half. Okay. Nice little information gain there from ShadowPie.
Yeah, looking like they might be able to set him up for a push here. Flashbang in, absolutely perfect, and Cars is gone within the first few seconds. Zhao also going to be picking up a double of his own over towards the B site, and although they should be able to trade him, actually, is he going to be able to escape? AJ should have caught him there. The one glimmer of hope left is that the fact they could have got it into at least a 2v4 instead. Well, now 1v5. AJ left alone.
And I don't really get what the end game is for Enzo in these kind of rounds where they split up like this.
Yeah.
Because it's not a pick and play style either, because they're committing so heavily in towards B with 3 people that's meant to be like a site take. But you also have people just roaming around towards A doing kind of the same, they're having the same idea. So what do you stand to gain from either, like, opening up either sites? Like, you're still going to be so spread out that you're not going to have a full force. You're still super vulnerable the entire time. But again, mid was working out. They were getting mid control often early. And just haven't really been able to do anything with it. And it's not for the lack of buys either.
HD quality. Somebody's just killed somebody.
That's AJ.
Oh, who's he killed?
That's not too... Don't worry about that. Shoot a pie.
Well, they've got themselves towards the A site, but ultimately it is going to be Freeman now into the 1 vs 3. No, he's pulled these off before, but...
Did you see ED there? There's a tiny bit of a gap towards the bottom end of the smoke. I'm not sure. Caught something through that. Oh, well, it's not quite able to turn it around, so ED's going to get that one as well. It's a 9th round for 5 Power. Nighttime not sitting at 18 frags. He is really the catalyst here for 5 Power. Showcasing his worth. I think it was on the first map. Freeman was the one to kind of leading the charge for both sides, sitting at over 100 ADR. This time, 130 ADR for Nighttime.
Yeah, well, the T's are coming back with a buy. It's not a particularly pretty one. An MP7 alongside 3 AKs and a Galil, and already the nades doing a hell of a lot of damage to the terrorist side. Leaving them low. Well, at this point, already looking like they're struggling quite a bit. I do worry for them going into the CT side of this map. 5 Power definitely looking like a much stronger unit on this one.
Nice flank opportunity here for Cars. Finds one, but oh, that barrel position is so powerful. Well, Shooter Pie, Xiao, and ED, they're going to pretty much evaporate the entire Enzo lineup within a couple of seconds. 10-5. That was looking so good for Enzo to start things off. 5-1 lead. Everything was going your way. You were executing great on sites. You were having a nice tempo to everything, and then you decided to play defaults, and that's when things kind of started to deteriorate.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of weird positions where it's like, I don't know if we're just watching it from a bird's eye view, and that's why we can sort of see what's going on, but like, realistically, they didn't try any sort of takes at all after that point.
Yeah, I just think, like, from a fundamental point of view, it's like, what do you benefit from having, well, as much of a 50-50 split as you can have, you know, with 5 players. Basically, a 2-3 split on opposite sides of the map, and the 2 you send towards A are split up because you have one squeaky, one A main. But the guy in A main is not even playing safe for anti-flashes, so he gets caught out. The guys on B have already committed far too deep into B. It's like, there's no synergy between what you're doing or what the idea is.
Already. Enzo are going to be kicking off this pistol round well, as they have got themselves the first few kills. T's almost looking to fall back a little bit here. It will be nighttime to find one at least, but still left in a 2 versus 4. Pretty bleak scenario. I think they're trying to fake the idea that they have gone back, but the fact is Zhao's already out towards the forklift, and getting back into main here is going to be nigh on impossible. He's sort of dedicated himself far too much to this site already. Hoping that somebody will peek out. Now, AJ is very low, so that'll be an easy kill for them at least. Spots out another and actually gets the headshot. This has turned into a possible scenario. Bomb can be planted. Shooter Pie, I just don't think that's a fight worth taking. And now, well, they've sort of risked that bomb plant again, the same one that they had problems with before on the T side for Enzo. You've got to hope that they can find themselves a kill here. Cars will take a little bit of a knock, but not anything too worthwhile. And both players actually running out of bullets until Freeman can double down. Enzo, they get themselves the pistol. Now have the chance to bring things back.
Firepower did so well to actually get them back into a 2v2 situation, and then everything was just very questionable from that point on. Shroudapie just deciding to take a long-range fight versus USP until he gets tagged down to 23 HP. Shouts, for some reason, deciding not to plant. It's just something else. Enzo, though, they'll be happy. They'll take that. 5 power. Actually, doing a bit of a half buy here. Buying up Deagles. No utility and no armor. So, straight up banking on finding some 1Deags.
Yeah, if they got a bomb plant. Well, that's the thing, even without, because of the extra money.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Be some limited utility. I suppose every kill's a grenade. Unless you're looking for a Molotov, of course.
AJ's looking for a kill.
No? Okay, there you go.
It.
Shooter Pie, there's one. That's a smoke.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know how he gets away with that, I'll be honest. Like, he literally heard the player shoot the vent next to his head and then just went, nah,
I'm gonna
sure
focus
there's
on
no one
there. Had to be like the fact that he heard the steps coming, so
Yeah.
like I pretty much like elephant trotting coming in from garage. Happy accident that it was actually the bomb as well. But there we go. 2 rounds on for Enzo, and they managed to stay alive with 4 players as well. So at least they were able to keep that going for themselves, and they had a lot of eyes really throughout that first half. And that is in part because they managed to build up such a massive bank in the first 5-round win streak they had.
See, now the problem they're going to come into now, though, is this sort of bonus round buy is horrible. Like, they've got 4 out of 5 SMGs. The one that's not an SMG is a FAMAS,
yeah.
and you hate that beyond belief.
It's not ideal. Like, they don't have any way to fight at range here. So they're going to have to wait for 5-Heart to actually get onto a bomb site to deal with this. And yeah, that's not panning out, is it?
No, Viva's just torn them a new one. 3 kills for him already.
And you can see they're doing dink damage, right? Like, they're getting damage in on the...
He doesn't know the bomb's
Hello.
there. Oh, the bomb is literally behind him. I think he's just assumed that it's going the other way. This bomb
He has to be
actually
convinced.
faked him out, but...
Yeah. But he's so convinced that to be.
Yeah. The
He's
thing
going
is,
to be
got a
so
kit.
confused.
He's got a kit. No, listen!
He's like, wait, what?
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That Molotov could actually save them a little bit, though, but he's not going to go
This
for
is
it.
actually smart, though. Like, he doesn't know the HP, obviously, of the 2 remaining players, but... Man.
Oh, that's got to be annoying. What he doesn't realize is he was a few feet away from the bomb. Like, if
Like, 2 Freeman, though, that has to be, like, the most perfectly sold fake ever.
Yeah.
Because of the timing of the guy coming out from lower B as well.
Mm.
You're just like, oh, no, they're getting full control of the site. Man. But, yeah, no, it's like... The SMGs just being what's holding Enzo back in that situation, as you said. It's not like the bonus round you're looking for. And that's kind of what Firepower gave to them on Mirage, that extra bonus round where that kind of buy would have been okay because of the force early. But here, because they actually opt not buying with Kevlar, nades and utility, and all that kind of stuff on their Deagle round, you're playing against AKs.
Mm.
That's a lot worse. So... yeah, it doesn't pan out for Enzo. Even though they do actually, connect their shots, it's just a matter of fact that the UMP headshot from a distance is not going to do the same kind of... it's not going to pack the same kind of punch as a Colt.
Ooh, aggressive from the CT side, taking A main control, finding the initial kills and keeping that man advantage going. You can see ShooterPie hoping that somebody tries to cross back. Ultimate Elite.
I'm liking this from Jeff, though.
He's got to be that flashbang is so perfect. Spray not so much, but Ed will be getting his sixth kill onto the board, and now they just have to worry about Dark as they'll be able to bypass everybody else, but they're not going to bypass him. Doubles down, 2 kills to his name, and leaves Ed the lone survivor. Does at least manage to finish off 1, but that will be all. T-side money, not in a good state either after how close that last round was.
Yeah.
Now they're going to be in real trouble financially.
And it all adds up as well, the fact that Freeman managed to hold on to that 1 gun from the previous round. Allows money to be saved going into this one, so the restock is going to be a lot better. 1 SMG, it's an MP7 on Darkus. You can feel pretty good about that. Viper actually opting to buy into this. It's not a strong one, but then again, we did see Enzo have success with just Deagle and utility. This time Jeff not stuck with an SMG, and they're setting up for a retake on B as well, which no, on A, excuse me, which I think is healthy. They have the Molotovs as well to clear out any scary corners. Dark is already getting confirmation that they're going out. Not really sure why he wants to jump up.
How is he alive? There's a TK in there as well. This has gone messy, and they still haven't got the bomb down. Jeff's going to push aggressively, actually drop it by a little bit more time for the remaining rotations, and that could actually work out nicely, because AJ is very well placed. Viva's clearly aware of it, but Zal, not so much.
Oh, man. That was a little bit too messy for my liking, though, from Enzo. Dark is kind of panicking, is just jumping up and down on oil barrels, not really knowing if he wanted to push through to fork, just stand his ground with an MP7 on distance. And then yeah, the kind of YOLO push from Jeff to deny the bomb plant, which I guess pans out in one way, but it still had the utility and everything going for you. If you're Enzo, still have the weaponry as well, so I think you could definitely afford to take the time and just wait for your teammates to rotate in. But can't argue with the results. They still get another round, and that's 5 power back to an eco.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing on Cash at least is Enzo being a lot less in control and a lot less sort of almost calm of what we saw before. Like in retakes in the previous map, I never really sat there going, oh, this could go wrong. Like they seem to be comfortable with their grenades. They seem to use their utility very well. In this, you could see like it was almost like they were panicking. Like, I've got to stop the bomb going down, otherwise we're screwed. And just run in and like spray. And it's just like,
none of my teammates know how to Molotov anything.
Yeah. It's like, I have no faith. I need to make sure that I stop it. But, well, looking like they're trying to pull players away towards this B site. They will actually manage a small rotation. Actually, they've got them killed. The AJ's going to have to do all the work here.
Okay,
he is doing it.
He's up for it.
Hasn't actually noticed there's another player behind him.
That's not as fun as shooting at the guy far away.
He does actually manage to get the kill anyway.
Yeah.
11 to 10. Enzo slowly clawing this one back, and you have to start wondering if 5 power are going to begin to sweat.
And I mean, while the cool thing for Enzo right now is that they're doing this without being led by Freeman in that sense. Yeah, Freeman has definitely gotten more into the game as well. I think it was at one point sitting at what, 3 to 8, 9, something to this effect.
Yeah.
Now at 12 to 11. Sure, obviously you want him on board, etc. But it hasn't been the Freeman show.
No.
It's been solid contributions from everyone else as well to get them to where they are.
Well, aggressive push coming out from Jav towards the B site. He's going to come into contact with AJ and Vent and loses the battle initially. Interesting that AJ actually opts to duck out into mid. And the smoke has already faded, but clearly feeling that the support was needed there rather than on the B site. And actually, after losing so much control, the T's are going to, hey, yeah, this is the flank. This is a big problem. They've lost one in the form of Freeman. Jeff's still here. And the flank's not actually going to play a part at all other than defining all the information. And while PewDiePie hoping for a last-ditch effort, but nothing will come of it.
That was well done, Enzo. Really getting into it here on the CT side. That's a fair few rounds in a row here. 4 rounds to be exact. So they only had the one bonus round this we talked about not going their way and then immediately being able to reset 5 power. Well, this is looking rough. I'm not a massive fan of these kind of investments from 5 power here. ZZs and you buy Kevlar, so you're down to 750. It's like, where does that leave you? Like, yeah, you got max loss bonus, but you could still get a better buy out of it. You could still get 2 buys in a row potentially, that kind of a thing.
Well, Carr's going to be the one in the more aggressive position this time. They've got Freeman back towards the site. He's going to get clear of all the Molotovs as they look to push through. And actually, Carr's doesn't even take the fight initially. Freeman gets completely overwhelmed, and the pistols have managed to potentially even net them around. There needs to be somebody picking up some quick kills, and well, AJ almost gets the second he does. That's important. That gives them a way back into things here. Darkest almost catching one with the pants down, but it's actually AJ instead. Jeff to combine, and that is a fantastic retake. AJ does almost everything.
I was about to say. It's a fantastic retake by AJ.
Yeah.
But that was, yeah. You could tell that the way Enzo was set up on the B-bomb site, they were expecting flashes to come in. Was it Cars was the guy who jumped down into the pit? Close wall?
No, he was by Vent.
No, wasn't that AJ by Vent?
No, that was... No, he was like just below Vent.
So, okay, so Freeman was the one who jumped offside. Okay, yeah, because he was like sitting with his back crouched towards, or from the opening, expecting flashes to pop in and just got taken out without shooting a bullet.
Oh, AJ looking to continue his reign of terror. 199 damage. Doesn't quite get himself that second kill, and actually, Ed has caught off another, but there's a chance for some very easy kills for Jeff. But
fades.
The smoke fades away, and Beaver's able to get the kill. Aggressive plays from Freeman, though. I think he's had enough of sitting back, relaxing, taking a bit of a chill time. And while
the bomb down as well.
Nighttime has to be careful not to stub his toe. flashbang off the wall, he could kill himself and save them the trouble.
So yeah, do you even try for this at this point?
Well, that's the thing. He's actually in a sort of interesting position in terms of money.
Yeah.
Obviously, what he has is actually worth more than the loss bonus. So
It is.
does he just save in this scenario?
I think he feels like he has too good of a chance, but there's so many angles to clear here. The second you pick up the bomb, just give you an immediate trade.
What?
And that's okay. That's pretty good.
Oh, no, this can't actually go the other way, can it? Freeman needs to hit him for one, and I thought for a second Nighttime was actually going to win that.
The nutty part is that Freeman still has a full kit of utility. He had a Molotov, he had double flash, and he had an AG. Decided to use none of it. And just go for a dry peek.
He's a Freeman.
Any of those grenades would have killed Nighttime there. So, well, it still goes in the favor of the team from Hong Kong. They might be looking to 2-0 here. And a bit of an update from the other match in this group. It's Ukraine versus the Philippines, or TNC. TNC were well in the lead on the second map of Cash, looking to equalize and make it a 1-1 series. But in the end, Ukraine climbed back off the back of Scooby having a 30 bomb. Makes it 2-0 for them. So 16-14 for Ukraine on the second map. But TNC definitely showing up to play.
Nighttime just about winning the battle versus AJ, but even still, that turns it into a slightly favored 4v4. Lots of utility for the T side, but they're pushing into the B side with multiple players, and the sort of aggro angle from Freeman, well, I was going to say could be valuable, but in fact, he starts to rotate just as the T start to rotate as well.
Is Jeff boosted up on site? On the box, or is he just jump peeking? It seems like. And they have Darkus playing close corner as well. Darkus has been playing there a couple of times already, so they might be expecting this to be a thing. Either flashes or Molotov towards the forklift.
Yeah, Molotov out. Jeff actually has a Molotov of his own. Sprang out. They still don't check it. It's an angle he's played multiple times. It's still going to be the trades effective. The Molotov is down, though. It's given a little bit of time for the rotation to come in. Viva going to be left into middle. Oh, Freeman not going to be ready for that peak. Now it's left all onto Cars. Now he does have an AWP. Definitely not the ideal weapon for this sort of retake, even though the remaining players are so low. And by the looks of it, he's just going to duck out of this round.
Yeah. Just not interested at all. Viva on the hunt already. I mean, if you're 5-hour in this situation, because you could justify it, you're still going to have a bit of a rough rebuy here in any case, but can do some pretty significant damage to the economy of Enzo. They still have a healthy amount on AJ and Jeff, but again, pretty expensive times to be on the CT side. Holding on to that AWP is definitely worthwhile for him. All right, 12-13. We'll see what comes of it. For Enzo here, they're going to rebuy again. Only one lacking utility is Enzo. He had to drop a couple of weapons around. But overall, a pretty decent buy. Same things can be said for 5-hour as well. Whose smoke was that?
No, maybe the player behind him, I guess Freeman. Yeah, it has to be Freeman because Cars has a smoke already. Oh, T-side looking like they might be about to pick up the pace. Some A-main control taken. It's going to be Viva with a fair bit of damage. And look at the rotation already. Freeman's going to start making his way back towards the A side. They've got the read here. Just got to be careful because they're already out quite far onto the side. But it's actually going to be Darkest to kick things off. The rotator of Freeman will be removed and we head back into a 4 versus 4. The thing is, lots of damage has already been done. Jeff ready for the boost start. Looks for a little more. Finds it as well. And this is going to be a 14th. Zhao trying to hold on in the corner. Actually sprays down too. He's given them a bit of an opportunity here, but does he expect the player pushing all the way through? Another kill comes in, but surely he won't expect AJ lurking around the corner. Waits patiently and manages to find that. But that was way too close. 1v4 and 1v1.
That swung so quickly as well. Xiao finding the double kill almost immediately. And then a bit of a guessing game, obviously, because AJ is just a little bit too far off to be able to set up a crossfire. So he can't cover the back of his teammate on site. It's still not enough, though. It still puts firepower in a iffy situation. And this is the buy they get with the bomb plant. And you can imagine what would have happened, actually, if AJ were to run out on bomb site to kind of try to deny the plant as well. Could have said bye-bye to those AKs. Or at least the utility of it. And cars. Well, he's already made sure they say bye-bye to one of the AKs anyway. That opening frag.
Well, it's sort of a last-ditch effort in a way for
Firepower, yeah.
because the money in the next round's not going to be good. And Enzo will be on 15, so they need to pull something out of the hat here. A little bit of a magic show. That's not going to be it from Ed. Solo push. That's more of a fake, and actually it has pulled Freeman off. I'm quite surprised by that. He's gone back after very little, because he's going to be able to hit the shot with the AWP. Ooh. Freeman's going to go down. He seems to be always caught rotating.
Yeah.
But Darkest has done the work instead. It's left all onto Viva. He has picked up an AWP. I think they just Molotov themselves off.
They did.
That's going to allow them to plant. That's a little bit of extra money into the next round at least. Fact is, though, Viva needs to be an absolute trooper in this scenario, a hero for this side as they push towards him, and he's not going to connect the shot. Only a pixel angle for him to hit. Bomb plant gives them a little bit of something to play with, but even still, it's basically SMGs unless they juggle some AKs around, which I kind of hope they do.
I think it's I think you're better off juggling AKs, but they seem to be spending for themselves. Xiao used about half a second to just buy up for everything he had to get that ZZ on full utility. And the rest of the set on Firepower taking a little bit more time to actually think things through, but here we are. It's the last-ditch effort or the last stand by. It's not really what you want to see. Meanwhile, for Enzo, it's not going to be ideal, but I guess Darkest could get dropped a weapon as well if he doesn't want to buy up and still wants to have utility. There is at least enough money on AJ.
I think they buy too many weapons. Or is it
I
just
think they're good. They've handled the situation.
Yeah, it's going to be, of course, the AWP in for cars once again. Good performance from AJ as well. I have been thoroughly impressed by Enzo in terms of the fact that it isn't just Team Freeman.
No,
it's not Freeman and friends.
Exactly. In this scenario, actually, yeah, Freeman's the one. The bottom of the scoreboard, AJ sitting at 25. Darkish with 21, Jeff. 20.
Here we go. Fast pushing. Car's already going to be finding the opener and dropping the bomb. Freeman now looks to chime in with a little bit of his own to finish off this game. Viva left in a 1 versus 5. The impossible scenario. A UMP as well to boot. And he will go down. A flawless finish. A fantastic CT side coming out from Enzo. Only dropping 2 rounds all the way through. And while that's going to be them taking the victory, their first opening best of 2 within the group. And well, this actually calls things into questions a little bit, because obviously we've just seen the Ukrainians win their match. I definitely think this is one of the more open groups in terms of who could actually come out on top. And Firepower being one of the bigger names, at least, I would have thought they were the ones to sort of go through there.
Same. I kind of would have expected them to, okay, maybe been like be tested by Ukraine, but not the case. I expected Firepower to be the team to go out actually in first, considering they still have the core of their lineup coming into this. They've been okay, within the regional competitions and so on. So, no, it's a bit of a surprise for me. Really cool to see Enzo though, and 5 players from Hong Kong doing as well as they did, and considering the fact that Ukraine had quite the struggle actually versus versus TNC, the Filipinian team or the Pinoy team. That's all the more encouraging in terms of finding some excitement in this group. So I think Enza has actually a pretty legitimate chance of winning this group.
Yeah, no, it is definitely one of the sort of questionable groups when it comes to like other teams that could have been in here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it means that we get like quite an exciting display, closer matches. The thing is, though, up next is one that is definitely going to be our highlight. Of the day.
Best of the day.
No doubt we've got a European battle, something that you don't see too often during WSG, unless, of course, you're in the group of death. And that is what we will be heading over after the break.
shadows, they follow you like an accomplice. Lost all of your dreams, the night is harder. My shadows, they follow you. My shadows, they follow you in the lost all of your dreams, the night is harder. My shadows, they follow you. My shadows, they follow you in the feel me in the darkness. My shadows, they follow you like an accomplice. Lost all of your dreams, the
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WSG Grand Finals. We are going to be going into what is our group of death. We've already had a little bit of Wendigo earlier in the day. Well, we didn't get to witness that game, but they did win 2-0. I think the second map went to OT. So
Yes,
it's a little bit closer, but now they've got the big boy. They've got Fnatic. They're going to be playing up against that. But obviously, if Wendigo win this, they are top of the group because there are only 2 teams in their group. Obviously, Ents unable to get visas and deciding to stay at home. Obviously, Alu gets to chill with his newborn, which is nice. Obviously, otherwise he would have had a pretty hectic schedule the way along.
I mean, they're going to be all over the place regardless. So might have been a blessing in disguise in that sense. Anyway, and in any case, you know, the group is tough enough as is.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think you can put many teams in this group other than the ones that we've got that would actually get out of this. So.
Yeah, exactly. You would have to look to someone like MIBR, right? That just wouldn't be fair, would it?
No.
But yeah, Wendigo obviously aiming to secure a spot in the playoffs already with the 2-0 win over Movie Star Riders. They're looking to be in a pretty good spot. Fnatic, obviously, they have to... This is kind of, again, very similarly to what we saw in the previous edition of WSG. This is kind of like a bit of a redemption tour for them. This is a chance for them to showcase that they're not really completely off the rails, right?
Yeah.
Because they were looking so good at the end of the year. Obviously, they won PLG, and then they come into the minors. Everybody had them ranked first. All the teams had them seeded first as well for the qualifiers, and they bomb out.
Yeah.
They were absolutely terrible, straight up.
Yeah, they are the reigning champions, of course, which obviously a little bit of a different team to what we saw back then. Obviously, Golden was in the roster, Flusha was in there as well, and I think that it's going to be a interesting change for them. Obviously, I still think that they are one of the teams that you expect to get very far in this tournament.
Oh, yeah,
but at the same time, like if they slip up here, obviously then it gets a bit interesting because they won't be going through top in the group. Not that that particularly matters, unless, of course, they somehow manage to match up against MIBR.
See, that's the thing. Like, we have no idea how it's drawn out once we get to the playoff bracket. So they could very easily end up versus MIBR in the first playoff bracket, right? That's the interesting thing.
The other thing as well is in this sort of best of 2 scenario, if Wendigo can even sneak a map, I'm pretty sure that means they're through. Yeah. So it's one of those situations where for Wendigo, they don't have a whole lot to lose other than seeding. Whereas if they somehow beat Fnatic, then, okay, it could get a little bit dicey on the Movie Star Riders game. Like, obviously, we'd still expect or favor Fnatic massively. The other thing would be here, if then somehow Fnatic beat Wendigo and then Movie Star Riders beat Fnatic, we would have another very confusing scenario. So
tiebreakers. Woo!
So obviously, a 3-team group does become quite interesting. But
I guess like the goal for Wendigo here is that as long as you want to obviously play for first seed, not only just because you want to beat Fnatic, because that's a nice feather in the cap, all that stuff. But you know, pretty much if you secure first place in your group, you're guaranteed to not meet MIBR for a long, long time.
And then there's not that many other teams in this tournament that Wendigo shouldn't be able to beat.
Yeah,
so
it's very true.
I would say that they're actually a team like gunning for a top 4. I would say, like based on the other teams that are here.
Absolutely.
Obviously, a lot of the big boys have pulled out along the way. So, yeah, I think Wendigo realistically are one of the favored teams. We both said that if anything, they're sort of a dark horse. But I feel like dark horse is almost unfair to the team itself because it's like, in all honesty, they are one of the top 4 teams at the tournament now.
They very well might be, especially considering that you had a couple of teams drop out as well, like Ents, like NIP.
And they're not many like full rosters in there. So like you can normally, like if you'd put them up against like the actual Valiance roster, I'd be like, okay, that's a pretty decent matchup. But you remove the likes of Esperanto and Otten, and you go, okay,
a little bit more shaky.
Yeah, it's like they've got their coach playing. Obviously, the coach used to be a member of the actual team, so
Emmy, right?
So it's not like that far apart, but at the same time, you still look at it and go, okay.
Still give the edge to Wendigo, right?
Yeah. So,
And,
like...
I mean, Wendigo is also, I mean, this is the best a Bulgarian team has ever looked.
Yeah.
Just hands down. And Bulgarian teams in the past, obviously with the old G-Play teams and so on, they've had some upsets, they've had some solid results every now and again, and they've obviously been very, dominant in their region. But yeah, right now, like obviously, Cirque never really got into a team where he played with like the likes of Victor and so on. Before he got sent off to NA, and obviously had great success with Energy there. But they found a pretty good replacement in Poison. Poison is bound for success. I'm convinced just from watching him play up to this point. He's just extremely good with the op. Simple as.
Yeah, I think that was always I always disliked watching the old Bulgarian teams, like E-Frag, for example. That team had one of the most aggressive force buying natures I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, no, that part of it wasn't too great. I still remember they were one to like champion like they brought up a strategy for Mirage, which is like this super cool B split or like B fake into like an A split through connector and underpass. Like super cool that they busted out at one of the Star Ladders probably like 3 years ago at this stage, 3 or 4 years ago. So always like hope to see more of that kind of stuff from them, but they would ruin a lot of their games for themselves because they just wouldn't allow themselves to get money.
That's the thing that, although this team is still quite like aggressive, I would say, I don't think they're anywhere near as bad as it used to be. I think they've like balanced out into like a well-rounded team. I think some of the more hot-headed players have gone, and I think that's been a huge positive for them. Like they still have some strong personalities, but I think they're balanced out in the sense that there are some calmer players in there as well, and obviously they've been together a little bit longer now. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this team. I
guess out of the old school players of the lineups we're talking about, the only ones left is Victor and Bubble.
Yeah.
Right. So NKL gone, Spy Leader gone. Insert that random fifth guy they would have had, Dreamer at one point, and then Punisher and so on and so on. All of those are gone. Now they have a much younger guard to join the veterans, really, and Ships, Blocker, and Poison.
Well, the other thing as well is like Bubble in the old teams used to be like a sporadic AWPer. Like he was someone who just used to pick it up sometimes when he fancied it. There was never really anybody in the role where it was like, every round I want this in my hands, and every round it will be successful. And I think that, like you said, Poison has sort of fit into that role quite well. Bubble's fallen back into, I wouldn't say a more passive role, but one of like, he's not needed to pick up the AWP.
Exactly. He's not forced into being the team's main opper, even though he's not a main opper, right? Like that's going to do a lot for both your team and just him as an individual as well, which is really cool to see. I think there's a lot of positives to look around for this Wendigo team. Obviously, they were at the minor qualifier as well. They didn't make it through, but then again, EU minor.
The EU
one
minor
of the tougher.
is hell.
But they even had good results throughout the EU minor as well. That's one of the things that stuck with me. Obviously, they did better than Mouse.
So did most.
But the thing is, like they ended up dipping out to, what was it, Valiance, I think, in a 2-1 loss at a best of 3. That's not the end of the world, considering how well Valiance played as well. They could very easily made it through.
Went out to Ents.
Exactly. So. And we know where Ents ended up, right? So I think there's definitely a case you could have made, like having Wendigo, part of the major circuit. I guess I don't think that's like a negative. I don't think they're gonna, embarrass anyone at all.
I think if they were through. Although obviously like teams from the other minors did go on to actually do quite well, I still think if you put Wendigo into any other of the minors, they get through.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that.
So I think that this is going to be, obviously the standout match of the day. I don't think there's any arguments there. It's more like, it's weird, because although Fnatic going into this tournament, obviously still one of the highest ranked teams in the whole tournament, I think second only to MIBR.
Yeah.
I think going into this, I'm actually more put a question mark above them than Wendigo. I expect
you know what to expect from Wendigo.
I expect them to play their own game. I expect them to go into this confident, no matter who they're playing up against. But with Fnatic, obviously, there's just so many question marks around them. Like, which team are we going to get? Are we going to get the team that did win this last year? Obviously, Bygones, like a few different players, but they still, it was the same scenario where they didn't have like
the greatest run. They needed to kind of get back on the horse, and they very much did so.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah. The thing, if I'm Crims, I'm so frustrated because Crims has somehow, some way managed to consistently deliver excellent performances forever. Like he doesn't disappoint pretty much. And even when Fnatic were slumping, he was still playing extremely well. So I'm like, at a certain point, you kind of have to look at your team and think, like, come on, when are you guys actually going to get out of this sticky situation? And they need to do it more often. I mean, if we could get the PLG version of Fnatic as well, that would be great. I mean, that's a massive improvement from what we saw at the minor as well.
Well, team, didn't that tournament only have like 1 day?
Yeah, and everything happened in one. That was it was an interesting adventure to put it lightly.
Yeah.
But Fnatic did play really solid Counter-Strike when they eventually got to play.
Yeah, an interesting one.
Actually, no, wait. The tournament did happen over multiple days. We just didn't broadcast.
Yeah, they
weren't
broadcast, yeah.
We were busy.
From what I saw, there was only 1 day.
We were pretty busy sitting in the pool.
Yeah, Harry did quite well out of that, though.
Yeah.
Cheeky 10 grand. He's a
Medal of Honor pro.
The third best Medal of Honor player in the world.
Yeah, Thermo successful.
Yeah, I know.
Of all
But if
time.
you say third best, it sounds better.
Well, Thermo's winning. It sounds pretty decent as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm still pissed because I was stuck at rehearsals. That didn't happen. And I've actually played the game. Harry looked up YouTube videos to prepare. That's all the experience he had with Medal of Honor.
Wow.
So I'm a bit salty about that.
Either way, we're going into a slightly better shooter. It's going to be the nades thrown
definitely.
up to the top. And Exist actually going to manage to get the opening pick. Is already ships down. They're throwing out the smoke to try and hold them back. Rotation being tempted. It's actually aggression into middle. JW is going to spot it. The master of mid-aggression. At least in the past. And Twist and Exist are just shutting down those two mid players. This has gone very badly wrong. Poison trying to come in from behind. He has managed to pick up a kill. They should hear the footsteps of him rotating in. And JW will be able to catch off the final man, who actually could have caused them any problems as Blocker. Quite far departed from the action. There's no way he gets back into this. This is just an impossible scenario. JW holding in the pit. He'll get his double, and Fnatic win that quite comfortably. I like the fact that Wendigo went so aggressive, but at the same time, they got very badly caught.
Yeah, just, again, alleviates so much pressure on the side of Fnatic. The fact that Exist is able to follow up on the damage done by Twist and Banana there, so you don't really have a pincer going on. So you're kind of stuck not being able to pressure Fnatic against the wall with the pressure you put on him mid on the side of Wendigo. So it doesn't really amount to a whole lot. Kind of deflates everything you wanted to do. Fnatic doing a really good job early on.
Oh,
they want mid.
More
Well
middle
done.
aggression. And Mark
Crims actually gets 4 of those.
Yeah. JW steals the ace. He stole it in the second kill, but that's not the point.
We are still counts.
Good to see the AWP straight in as well for Wendigo. Glass cannon, no utility behind it, which is actually more of an interesting point just on this map, because obviously you do see a lot of the time people focusing heavily on the utility usage. You can see it here actually from Wendigo themselves. The rest of the players,
They've sacked weaponry to get utility. Or armor, for that matter.
Yeah. Ready, though. Poison almost managing to find the opening pick. Leg shot onto Exist. Gonna go back for more, and Brolin's waiting. That's the power of not having armor.
Brolin was
single
so far
headshot.
up so early. It was really far forward. Fnatic are just going to go on this.
They actually didn't even bother picking up the AWP. They just chucked it away.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue their push. Obviously, the faster play with the SMGs. A lot easier without an AWP in hand.
Very nicely done as well. Having the smoke wall down in front of the pit so they can safely traverse down. You can see there's an entire block pretty much due to the smokes there.
Well, this round
That's
is done.
efficient. That's really well done by Fnatic.
Yeah, leave ships just trying to hold on. Obviously, this first round by normally does have its weaknesses, but the aggression of Poison being called off so early on.
I'm curious if Exist is going to hold on to that up for JW further into next round, or yeah, they're going to swap it out.
Well, that's the interesting thing with this Fnatic team. I feel like there's a abundance of sometimes AWPers.
Oh yeah,
Like it is
Twist sometimes ops.
I think
JW
Crims as
sometimes
well.
op. Crims can definitely sometimes op.
It's a bit of a weird scenario. I suppose it's good in the sense of you don't need one.
If I had to pick up like a main opera, I guess, on that team, I would actually go with Twist.
Yeah,
Although it's been a long time since it's been a full-time opera, he was so good at it.
Well, yeah, it was like... The thing is, I was going to say at his peak, but then again, I suppose if you talk about JW at his peak...
He was pretty good with it as
He
well.
was pretty damn good.
But to be fair, though, that was... JW's peak was when basically his two main weapons were two very different things. So it was before the op nerf and it was before the ZZ nerf. And I'm not talking about the recent ZZ nerf. I'm talking about when you could pull it out within like a half of a blink. And obviously, and then we know we talk about JW as a main opper, and this is going to sound a little bit mean, but his main opping style was pretty much running aggro, going for a no-scope, missing the no-scope, and then killing 3 people with a ZZ.
Oh, I think him and Smiths were...
Smiths and Pasha as well.
Had a similar sort of thing, like the nerf hit them.
Pretty hard.
Yeah. He's going to be on the AWP here. Obviously has adapted since then. It wasn't like there was a big fall off in JW. He still continued to reign supreme, even if it was using a Mag 7. So he's
always found new ways.
Yeah,
that's been a while actually since we've seen the Bank of Fnatic shoddy come out. I remember that being such a thing. Even back when Fnatic would play maps like Nuke and everything.
Cobble son of JW is still my favorite thing. Just in
Train
existence.
Inside of Pop with the Mag 7. He'd get around with that weapon.
Yeah, and the thing is, it is the similar players as well. Pasha is another one. They're like Broken Wall Cobble with the Mag 7.
Oh yeah. Pasha, like weirdly enough, like, I don't understand like how he ever got in to try to take duels towards Broken Wall and Cobble, because everything looked so Yankee when it did it, but it seemingly worked a lot of the time. You'd always get like 2 kills off of it or something, but it's weird to watch Pasha play CS.
Well,
a bit of a stack here. We're on the B-bomb site. 3 players. They're going to get smoked off, though. No real Molotovs used.
Yeah, it actually allows for Ship to get away with quite a lot. That's normally one of the corners where a Molotov will fall in, force him out of the position, and, well, because of that, a double with the CZ, at least making things a little bit more costly for Fnatic. Obviously, money-wise, this early on, they managed to win their quote-unquote bonus round with the SMG. So they upgraded quite a few weapons there anyway. So they're not doing too bad financially. The remaining players just holding towards Banana. Going to try and steal a weapon away. Victor and Bubble sat with those weapons in hand. The old guard of Bulgarian Counter-Strike. And they've timed this very well. It seems like Exist was more than aware. He really wants that final kill as well. Doesn't need it. I think that actually he does. No, Bubble's managed to steal an AK.
That's very well done. Absolutely worth it. So, a bit of a hand-me down going the way of Wendigo there. Still, though, 4 rounds in a row for Fnatic off to a great start here on the T side. Already seen some pretty nifty executes from their end as well. And now, see what they can muster against another buy on the side of Wendigo. And this time, Wendigo doesn't have to sacrifice weaponry to get utility. See 2 Augs coming out, an AK. Lots of utility, and even armor on Poison this time around on the op.
Brolin already caused a little bit of a nuisance in the last buy round. That was his only kill, actually, was getting that opener towards the opera. And, well, this time Poison a little bit further back. Just going to be like, no, not this time, kid. Yeah. I suppose he's a kid as well, but even still.
Still older than Brolin, though that doesn't really take a whole lot. All right. Combining grenades to take out Twist as well. And this is pretty cool as well. Like when Jesus, that's quick.
Oh, JW's even holding for that as well.
Yeah.
That's got to be so painful. Just to peek through into your angle and Poison's just ripping him a new one.
Poison, I swear, Poison is something special. Like he feels better than Zerk did when we were watching when Zerk was back in Europe.
Well, how old is Poison?
I think he's 19, if I'm not mistaken. I'll give that a quick look as we wait for the kid to play. Turn 20 at least.
Even still.
Still, no, it's like no age in today's Counter-Strike world. Obviously, if we go back 10 years, it would have been a retirement age about now. But yeah. Really, really quick with the scope. There we go. 4 kills for the young off talent.
Wendigo have their first round, obviously courtesy of the man himself. It is still going to be a comfortable buyback in though for Fnatic. They've got so much cash already built up over the last few rounds. As I said, the bonus round definitely helped them out significantly. After this, there could be some financial troubles coming up for the Swedes.
Yeah. Might be able to save off it if they get a bomb planter. That's right between the goalposts.
He's got back. This is a little bit ballsy. He's actually getting tagged through the wall as well, but still manages to find JW.
Jeez.
A quick peek out. It will be traded by Twist, but Blocker has got his back. If this boosted up, we'll actually be able to find one back in return. And actually, the T's are just going to take that and rotate away. They know that there's another player there, so can't be that much of a defensive A. But they're still going to wait patiently, see if there's a rotation back. Brolin, again, is going to be probing through those apartments. There's only going to be Victor in the pit, although it can be quite a difficult position to clear. Brolin does have himself a Molotov.
We'll see, does Victor have a smoke to his name? No, he does not. He's got a flash. You could potentially get a nice timing here, but since the majority of Fnatic, 2 players, that is, will be coming out of apps. Actually, nobody's coming quad at all.
A little bit of a bait and switch. Crims jumps out. Brolin finds the kill. Bubble does have an incendiary, but it's a little bit too late, and Exist is ready and waiting to catch off the rotations. Leaves Blocker all alone, and well, there's no real choice but to save. Unfortunately, money becomes an issue.
I'm assuming that's going to be the goal. Yeah, picks up the up. Now needs to hide. But yeah, so far early on, Wendigo has been pretty adamant about putting 3 players over towards that B bomb site, regardless if Poison's playing there or not. See, finding for banana control is essential. It's going to be interesting to see if that's something they continue to go back to pretty much throughout the entirety of their CT side, and if they were to, ooh, that's not half bad. And if they decide to do so, focusing so heavily on that banana area, if Fnatic are actually going to push up the tempo and try to punish them over towards A early on in the rounds.
Oh, there's going to be a pause called.
Bit of a timeout. Assuming on the side of Wendigo, probably to figure out whether or not they want to force buy behind this.
I think they should, yeah.
Do have the op on Poison. That feels like the most vital ingredient. Blocker already bought up with an AUG. So I'd say it's fairly safe to assume that we're going to see a buy coming into this.
Yeah, they definitely have the money available to them after saving that extra weapon. They won't be the prettiest to buy it, and they're actually going to pull in a secondary
double off, okay. Definitely not what I expected. I'm not sure if I'm too big of a fan of this, considering how little utility they have.
That's an interesting one.
If they're using the same with C, it's going to be Blocker over towards B together with Ships. So they have a total of 1 flash over on B.
Ooh.
Oh, Poison still commits.
Oh, and he gets wrecked for it. Ships on the other side of the map. JW's died to an AWP every single round. There's been one on the CT side. Last 3 rounds, he's been picked off. But in all honesty, that's not a bad trade. Ships also very low on HP. I think he may have hit the tag as well, both times.
Yeah, like getting a leg shot in.
However,
2-2 split from Wendigo. But here's the issue, right? They don't have nades. They don't have utility. They had 1 flash on Blocker. They still have that 1 flash. That's for the B-bomb site. That goes out now. Now it's all down to the weapons. What do you do here, Blocker?
Oh, he's just going to burn completely to death. This exists to finish him off, just give him that little saving grace of putting him down. But the CT side are now way too far out of this round. They've just got to try and hold on to what they've got. 3 players saving. Might actually be able to go for another force buy into the next round if they really wanted to, but you almost kind of hope that they just try and fight with these few weapons, save, and try and get themselves the extra money. Although, saving 2 AWPs, you almost think they might force behind it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it's awkward to just have 2 ops, and you might fall into this awkward situation where like you force it behind it in case it doesn't pan out, and you save the 2 ops once again, and then you're perpetually force buying because you have 2 ops.
Yeah.
But again, like just having 2 ops doesn't necessarily feel like the strongest buy to not force behind. So, well, we'll see what they end up doing. Drops the op over to Poison at least. That's a given. Bubble could drop, yeah, a Colt. So again, it's the same kind of scenario. They're not going to have much utility at all. So they're banking everything on... They're pretty much banking everything on the ops doing a lot of the work for them. Poison setting up for the pop flash into mid. Nothing's going to come of it.
Oh, Brolin once again. You almost expect him to be here at this point.
Yeah, no, this it seems like Fnatic have very set roles in terms of what they're supposed to do during their defaults, and Brolin's meant to be far up in apartments.
He's not been doing bad at finding some opening kills. Smoke going to be going out. He's got JW alongside him. See Poison still there with that AWP. Can JW make it 4 rounds in a row where he dies to an AWP shot? They're going to be making their way out. Fast push in, Bubbles well placed. JW surviving at least for now. And Crims is going to be there to actually trade things back. Ooh. Instead, it's Crims getting decked. Leaving Poison still with that AWP. He's expecting someone to have crossed the pit. Instead, he'll be the one to fall to Twist. Still looking to push in. They've got to try and clear that corner, though. It's going to be a difficult position to get rid of. And JW dies to the AWP for the end. He's an AWP magnet.
Death taxes and JW dying to an AWP. Here you have it. They actually managed to hold on to both AWPs as well. Not a bad round at all from Wendigo.
Still yet to break the economy of the Swedes, though. That's the big problem. They've still got bias coming back up. 6 rounds already on the T side. Definitely not a bad start on Inferno. Obviously, it is still possible to get quite a high number of rounds if you are able to keep the CT economy low, which Fnatic have done well at so far. However, an aggressive push from Crims will net the opening duel for Wendigo, and now they can just fall back and play more passively. They've got 2 AWPs. If you get that opening pick, you can set yourself up with a man advantage. You don't really need to take these fights so much anymore.
It's very true. Fnatic kind of setting up in a way where they're hoping Wendigo will stay aggressive. Not to be the case, though. Yeah. Still plenty of utility, at least, for the Swedes. Can set up for and execute towards either of the bomb sites without any sort of issue. B seems to be the name of the game for now. Just one smoke. It's going to go towards coils. 1 for spawn. Assuming a couple of Molotovs are going to fly out as well, considering they didn't do that 1 round and that almost bit them.
The Molotov execute. Going to force CTs into an aggressive position, already burning them down. They really are struggling versus this nade setup that Fnatic have. 25 seconds left on the clock. Poison's going to be going for the wall bang.
JW died to an AWP, by the way.
For God's sake.
But that was a proper execute from Fnatic. You could see that's the second time blockers pretty much just died to Molotov because he has nowhere to go.
Yep. Close Molotov thrown in. Twist actually getting tagged relatively low. Just about going to survive in the corner, and that may actually be a problem for the CT side. Will they check this properly now? Not quite, but it doesn't matter. They do still manage to get the kill. It's all left onto the youngster Brolin. They're going for the diffuser. He's found one, but that might be a false positive. It's not the diffuser. Poison's just going to stick it out in the 1v1. And well, Wendigo, they get themselves that 3rd round.
It's not cheap, though. And, yeah.
You're going to risk it for a biscuit.
Very true. Bit of fortune from Wendigo there as well, actually having, I think it was Victor who died, right, through the smoke? Being the martyr to make sure that...
Yeah.
Making sure Brolin actually thought he'd gotten the diffuser. That's unfortunate. Well, fortunate for Wendigo, but not so great for Fnatic. Fnatic still not giving up, still buying. Bomb plant, just putting them over the edge. We could tell, though, less and less utility for each round that passes.
And that was the big success in the last round.
Yeah, exactly. Those 3 mollies.
Molotov take onto the B site has been difficult for Wendigo to deal with. Luckily, of course, they got the picks at the same time. The AWP shot onto JW definitely helped them out. 5 rounds in a row, by the way.
See if we can make it 6. For now, though, look how passive Wendigo are. Not playing for control in Banana. Most definitely not playing for control of anything towards A. Giving away top mid. Giving away top Banana. And, well, Fnatic are pretty split right now. Wendigo have the correct read, I'd say, because this is looking like a B split unless it's going to be a fake. So, standard smokes go through. And are they actually going back? They're actually falling back. And this is giving, yeah, JW a lot of real estate to work with here. Good news for him as well. There's no opera in sight.
That's been his kryptonite so far. T-side are going to be pushing all the way in towards A now. They've only got the pit control at the moment. JW looking like he might be about to break the trend, but not in the way that he wants. He actually manages to connect onto the remaining players. They've only got a few seconds to plant that bomb, but they will get it down. And well, the CT side have fallen into a save already.
I was about to say, that was such a good setup, really. Like, it's a really strong setup from Wendigo to have, but really relies on you to actually hit some of your 30 shots. And I don't think there's any universe where JW should be surviving that.
No.
So, Victor
that's why
definitely...
I was certain he'd break the trend.
Exactly. Victor definitely should have been able to find that frag and then shore up, help Bubble from the pit position, or broken wall pit position, to be more precise. I think that could have been a big difference maker, especially considering, yeah, you mentioned the fact that time was running down.
Yeah.
Things can get very chaotic in these late round situations, especially if a bomb carrier goes down, bomb starts rolling somewhere you don't want it to. Could get dicey, but nonetheless, Fnatic do end up with the 7th round. So, I mean, at this point, pretty much regardless of how this ends for Fnatic, it's been a decent first half.
At the same time, though, I feel like you don't want to give the Bulgarians any momentum.
Oh,
like,
no,
if they just manage to win out from here, I would still be worried for the Swedes, but at least for now they've looked very good. And the interesting thing is it's been like sort of a mixed bag of who's been stepping up in each round. It's not just been Crims, it's not just been, well, top of the board at the moment is Exist.
Yeah.
So like the fact that it's multiple players stepping up, and on the other side of things, I think they've been fairly reliant on Poison having a big sort of couple of rounds, and the block has been decent. The problem is when they go aggressive on Banana, he does very well. When they're more passive, he gets burnt out by grenades. And actually, Poison this time is going to be the one taking a decent amount of damage from the fire. Utility usage has definitely been strong, and
yeah,
he's trapped.
I guess he might have the time to actually wait out the molly. Can he make it back? Yeah, he can.
Yeah, his teammate's still in the corner, though. Now trapped again.
It's a lot of utility from Fnatic's end, though. Look at how little they have left. They haven't really gotten Banana until that. Oh, shit. Wrong place, wrong time.
Oh, Poison has it all to do here. The last defender of the B site does manage to take one and clip Crims.
Not shoot?
JW gets around the corner and he's going to meet his doom at the AWP. Unfortunately, Twist jumps up and will be there to put him down. Orp also going to be retrieved for the TE side, and the remaining CTs both with MP9s. Not really the best retake weapons in the world.
Not at all. Not even the best fight down mid with either. Well, fortunately for Wendigo as well, there's not really many weapons nearby for them to pick up either, to try to hold on to into the next round. But yeah, not really sure what prompted Blocker to actually get aggressive there, because he's not doing it quickly enough to actually help out Ships. So there's like a bit of a lull after Ships dies before Blocker repeaks, and obviously that allows for the Fnatic members to reset and kind of get ready for whatever kind of attack that's been thrown their way. Oh, that sounded dirty.
Yep. Bubble with a chance to do some real damage here, but by the looks of it, he might just opt to hold on to his MP9 instead. Well, and after what has been a backwards and forwards battle of economy, Fnatic have come out the victors and left the CT side with, well, next to nothing.
Got an MP9. That's not really ideal. It's going to be clean go from the Bulgarians. And this should pretty much just be Fnatic going through the motions in order to pick up a 9th round.
do have singular flashbang invested. They left Bubble alone on the B side. He's actually going to be able to take down Twist. That's a gun to the floor. Flashbang thrown out to try and get him a little bit. He's just going to spray while completely blind and is slowly being whittled away. 11 HP is all that remains, but the remaining CTs don't budge. Trying to force them into their little middle stack, which is a pretty effective one, actually. If people do go pushing into this sort of crossfire, it's a horrible scenario for the Ts. At the same time, you kind of hope for Fnatic's sake that they are going to do the probing properly and realize that there's so many players here. All the footsteps really should give it away, but in fact, they're going to quickly try and double back.
Trying to sell the
B
fake.
site.
Doesn't seem to be working, though, as JW's been gifted the task of being the sole attacker of this B bomb side. And he's going to find the perfect timing to swing through and poison.
Poison just killed Bubble!
Oof.
I think he was just spamming the smoke and just killed his teammate by accident.
Yeah.
JW's had a bit of a let-off there because whoever was on the boost should have really easily killed him. Instead, shoots teammate in the back of the head and then
It's pretty much a
he
flawless
just walks
round.
away.
Yeah.
That is very lucky for JW, but not so much for Poison.
Yeah.
Damaging his tally a little bit. And
Not going to help him in order to get an op either. Not that he would have had enough money, I think, anyway. Well, he loses 300 for the team kill, and then obviously he misses out on potentially 300 on killing JW.
yeah.
I think he was sitting at 4K, so no op would have been in question anyway, but yeah, never fun to kill your teammates.
Well, it's going to be another pause called. Fnatic looking well and truly in control here. Other than a few fantastic plays coming out from Poison, we haven't really seen much from the Wendigo side. They've struggled to take control of Banana even when 3 players are there. I don't think we've once seen them gain full control, like with deep smokes and just able to push down it. Because Fnatic have been aggressive in that position almost every single round. And it really does make it difficult for the CT side. Like if you lose Banana within the first like 30 seconds, you're always sort of playing catch up.
Yep. In the dark constantly. All right, Poison finds one at least. After taking more, and he probably could have gotten 2, but not to be the case. And Twist actually takes out the sole defender of that B bomb site, ships her down. Brolin's been playing the same position, same area. Just been so patient about it. It finally gets his reward. It's going to get double of that as well as Victor goes down on site. So they've managed to take both sites. Obviously, that makes life pretty tough for a blocker, and it's going to meet his demise to Brolin as well. So the on-gun coming in full force. And Fnatic looking really solid. This is much better than minor Fnatic we saw.
Yeah, this is calm, collected. This is the thing I find amazing is I know that I'm impatient now at 24 years old. I can't imagine playing at that just be like, oh, I want to take a fight, run in. And he's just sat there, cool as a cucumber. Nice double nade down mid. That's at least a little bit of damage. Obviously, damage at this stage
It's not really what you...
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It means nothing. A little bit of extra money for the CT side, I guess, is the smallest silver lining you can find. And other than that, unless Victor manages to pull off a 1v3 with a P250 and nothing else, I think Fnatic are about to have their 11th round on the T side, which, well, that's a pretty damn good half of T side Inferno.
Not bad at all. But yeah, no, to your point, though, about patience, I would say I'm less patient now than I was 10 years ago.
The only thing I have noticed is when I was younger, I could have a game and just pretty much play it all the way through without, like, playing other stuff. Nowadays, I just have a really rubbish attention span where just, like, I could play like this for a bit, then I have to play something else. I don't know.
I get super impatient just off the fact that I want things to happen at my time and my tempo.
It's my way or the highway.
Exactly. And if people aren't rushing me when I want to, then, you know, I have to rush them.
Well, CT side, they're doing pretty damn well in this round. Poison's got himself a double. Bubble and Blocker have chimed in with another, and Brolin, no surprise, he's in the apartments. Bubble is just going to be waiting for him, and, well, that's the one thing about playing the same position every round. Eventually...
It does get a bit predictable.
Yeah. It is going to be 11-4 though. A great T side coming out from Fnatic on Inferno, and while
Really
Pistol
was.
win here pretty much puts the game to bed.
Or less, yeah. You would at least imagine so, unless we would see, well, pretty epic meltdown. Yeah, not often you see Victor all the way down at 3-12. He's been having a rough go at it. I feel like the instance of him and Pitt there, where we saw the double setup to defend the E-bomb side, was kind of indicative of how his game has been going, painting a pretty accurate picture. Just shots not landing the way they normally do. Let's see if he can turn around for the T side, though. Pistol coming in, more or less a must-win for Wendigo. And decent amount of utility, actually. 2 smokes, 1 Molotov, and ooh, okay. Brolin taking a fair bit of damage through the wall as well before dipping out. But he does get a lot of information in terms of how many Wendigo players were moving about in second mid. So they know that there's no immediate banana aggression imminent or anything of the sort.
Well, patience from the T side. Just waiting for any aggression to come out from Fnatic, but it isn't really coming. It's only going to be a peek in from Twist. This is almost a little bit of a bait, him like having this sort of peek at top banana, because if anybody did spot him, they would expect probably for him to be the only one there. Not that it matters, because the T's have gone for some mid control instead. And now they're going to rotate a 4th player in from Fnatic. A lot of information gathered. Twist is going to be able to find one, and the bomb's actually been dropped around the arch side. Twist already managing to find himself a 2nd kill. Flashbang going to be there, and it's just a quick trade leaving Bubble to try and fight for that bomb. It's gone into an even worse position. He ran out of bullets in his pistol. Somehow Exist doesn't finish him off. Luckily, JW will be there to do it, but Ship's now coming in from behind. Do they expect this flank all the way through Banana? Yes, they do, but JW's still been dinked within inches of his life. Luckily, Brolin is there to save him.
And nice tag teaming there from Fnatic, making sure that they're never alone in that sense. Twist obviously doing a great job in Archway there, initially finding 2 frags, and when he finally goes down, Exist has already been able to make the rotation in to make sure Wendigo have no way of actually getting anywhere. 12th round as well for Fnatic. Pistol round down. Clean eco for the Bulgarians. They want that 3rd round bye.
Yeah, not something we saw in the last matchup. Obviously, the Asian team's still playing the 2nd round force, and for Enzo it worked, to be fair. But ultimately, this is just a chance for Fnatic to really build up some cash. Even a kill or 2 here for Wendigo would make their next round by a little bit more dicey, and if they were to win the next round, likely set Fnatic back to be an eco. And they could really use that right about now because they are very far behind. Well placed will actually be overwhelmed. They've got a chance to do the same to JW, so that's already the 2 kills. Now they get to go for a little bit of gravy. Unfortunately, Twist, he's not a fan. He likes his meat just dry.
Plot twist.
Plot twist, haha.
I'm actually surprised that hasn't been used more.
Especially considering there's more than one player called Twist.
Yeah. Well, opportunities for another time, I suppose. Fnatic do hold on to the advantage from winning pistol. And Wendigo decided to lose a player.
Yeah.
That's Blocker. He's decided to temporarily just dip out. Yep. It's that magic reconnect. You know when you're playing against someone who's doing really poorly in an online game, they just reconnect within like the span of 5 seconds, and then come back and just immediately just slaps down for your teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah. It's magic.
Really just breaks you
they
inside.
call it magic. You open a special word .exe document, and then the magic begins.
Yeah. So I just reconnected and automatically just
knew where you were.
Yeah. Fun when that happens.
I had the foresight to just guess. Well, maybe Ships needs one of those. 3 kills currently, and we're going into round number 18. Definitely hasn't had the performance he would hope for versus legendary organization of Fnatic. But it is going to be the early trade. Victor managing to find one, but there will be poison falling to JW at the same time, and Victor's taking a bit of a nasty tag, so In a bit of a problematic position. The T's currently gathered outside and middle. Again, it's sort of polar opposites almost from these two teams. We saw heavy banana control gathered by Fnatic.
No banana control gathered by Wendigo.
Yeah. Not interested. Brolin, well, he's back in apps, but not for long. Ships will be there to finish him off, and now the remaining players of Fnatic have a little bit of a difficult task on their hands. There's a lot of utility still left for Wendigo. Ships has to be careful, though. Luckily, this is going to walk into him backwards. And Twist, well, now, even though there's a lot of low HP players, he doesn't know that and isn't in a position to try and fight this.
Yeah. Oh, well. Better to hold on to that AUG. Might be able to do something with that going into the next round. And I think the likelihood of Fnatic deciding to force up into this, well, especially now with Twist dead, is about 0. But there was a chance there. Still, though, nicely done by Wendigo. As you said, didn't take banana control at all. Primarily focusing on getting top mid. It seemed to be working as well for them. Ships as well. Being patient in apps finds Brolan. Still a long ways to go, though.
Be interested to see if Brolin drops AWP in the next round.
Yeah, for GW?
Yeah, it's possible. It would mean that he has no nades. It would just be the...
I guess he is
cover
playing the
approach.
apps position, so nades might be not as important for him. I guess he would like to have a smoke if he's playing passive, just to be able to put out any sort of Molotov if they're giving up top mid, that kind of a thing. We'll see, though. Twists all by his lonesome.
Yeah, he's going to need quite a bit of luck to get out of this one. Smoke's going to be thrown in. I haven't actually smoked the cross just yet, so this could still be construed as a bit of a fake.
See if Twists can actually do anything.
It's going to be forced into the close corner. Should be checked, and yeah, Victor more than aware. Now the remaining CT players. This just has to be for exits. Don't really want to just run in. It's going to be Bubble. Will they be able to overwhelm him? No. Complete decimation of the remaining players of Fnatic.
Yeah.
Pad his stats a little bit. Gain a bit of confidence. But yeah, this is where I'm interested. Will Brolin drop an AWP? Yes, he will.
There we have it. Double up, actually. All right. It's early. We've actually seen quite a few of those so far on the CT sides of Inferno. Double ups coming out. Denial did it. And we saw it earlier today as well. I won't say it's been too successful, though.
No. And it does severely limit what else you have. No kit for Fnatic.
Ooh, that's quick. I saw Poison being rather rapid on the CT side as well. He's playing towards mid area. Twist showing that he has some talent as well.
Yeah. The two sometimes AWPers both picking it up.
Yeah. We'll see if actually JW can turn around the tide, though, because so far he's lost every AWP duel he's been in. Did he even get an AWP kill on the T side? He died to an AWP 6 times or something.
Yeah. I think he may have done. I think he did. It was just sometimes it was at the end of the round he died. I think he used an AK most of the time anyway. So either way, Twist has managed to find another one, but doesn't have any armor, so he's got to be careful from the utility. 2 Molotovs available to this T side, but they're just going for the bomb plant here. The chance of them winning this one is very, very slim, especially with a peek straight into the blender.
Oh, well, Victor, you're going to have to do something special.
He actually takes one there.
Finds Brolin actually. He's rotated the furthest away. It's like, I just made it from apps, guys.
Bad luck,
nobody,
Brolin.
yeah, nobody ever goes apps. Here I am.
But it is going to be
Immediately
14 to 6. 2 rounds away from Fnatic taking the first map of the best of 2. Obviously, we spoke about the idea that realistically, Wendigo only need 1.
Well, Twist has worked his way up the standings here now in terms of kills, sitting at 17, topping everyone on the server. I think it was Pronax who recently did an AMA where he said that if he were to make like a all-star supers team, the Swedish players right now with him as a, I think it was with him as an in-game leader, Twist would be on that team, which is pretty high praise. I don't think many people consider Twist to be as good as he actually is, really. But I think he holds a really high, or he's held in really high regard amongst his fellow players. I guess it's evident, considering by the fact that he's been asked to join NIP and God knows what Swedish teams so many times.
JW almost gets closed down there. I think he saved a little bit by Crims managing to get that opening pick. Managed to gain some arch control. They've got to be careful though, because Exist is rotated in. There's actually no one on B at the moment, and that kill is actually going to be quite an important one, because they now not only have free roam from B for Banana, they also have it from the rotation. I think Fnatic have to give this one up.
Yeah, no, you just run back to T-Pit here. You realize your visitation time, and you learn that this is not it. That was just very efficient from Wendigo.
I think the interesting thing though with like Sweden at the moment is the lack of what I would say a best AWP. I don't know who the best Swedish AWP would be.
Like the dominating opera pretty much
Yeah.
for Sweden? I don't think it exists.
Exactly. It's sort of like, so when you say like Pronex said, oh yeah, he would have Twist, it's like, who else do you have as an AWPer?
I don't think he like picked him out because it was an opera.
No, not
though.
necessarily, but I'm just saying like, even still, it's like
Yeah.
it has that dynamic to his game, whereas
Yeah, there is no like, you don't have like a Delpan from 1.6 kind of a guy who's just like, yeah, he only uses the off because he balls out on it. Yeah, that is a bit interesting. Sweden used to be an op nation as well. They used to have so many. Well, they still have very many good operas. Oh, nice. Damage being done there at the end. But yeah, no, they for the longest time, very strong nation when it comes to operas. Well, just Counter-Strike players in general, I guess. But a lot of these like hybrid operas that Sweden have been extremely efficient with it. If you go back to earlier Fnatic days or LGB days, and I mean LGB, you had a lineup of Twist, Dennis, and Olaf.
yeah,
All of them would use the op whenever they felt like it, and they would be going toe-to-toe with the best players in the world.
that's for sure.
I think it's obviously as the game develops and players get better and people who specialize get better, that's going to be harder to do. But yeah, no, it's they've never really had dedicated operas as much.
Well, Exist. Only one with a gun. They are going to be pushing into him, and they've sort of tried to. I think he's boosted up, so he's got a very good position to at least get a kill there. I don't think they're going to be spotting that straight away. Actually gets a double. Does a lot of damage as well. The pushes through the smoke aren't going to net anything, but JW.
The damage.
He's done
Oh,
so
they're not gonna
much.
expect this.
Oh, he's going to push through. Almost manages to transition into the second blocker. Lucky to dodge that one. That could have been it. Exist kicking things off, but it's actually JW doing a lot of damage through that smoke with the USP.
Yeah, I love the re-aggression as well. The fact that as soon as the firing stopped, like he never thinks about going back. He's always going through that smoke as he's reloading. And that's how you catch people off guard. Wendigo though, and just string 2 rounds together, but now going up against some weaponry on the side of Fnatic. Not the biggest fan of this buy from Fnatic's side. I feel like they very easily could have taken one more eco to get proper utility, proper weapons. They have the cushion to work with here. This is like giving a rather easy round for Wendigo to play into. So that lead that you currently have, it can pretty easily melt unless you're successful here.
Grim,
Yep.
so close. He
JW
manages to do
though.
so much with the CZ. He gets a double, in fact, and well, now Twist is just holding for the cross. That smoke is not good enough. That is
was
just not good
terrible.
enough. That's probably
Oh.
just lost on the map.
How do you miss that badly though? And normally, like if you miss that smoke,
It
the
goes
gap
the
is
other
going to be
way.
the gap is going to be on the other side. I don't know. Yeah, that's somewhat impressive. I'm not really sure how that comes about, but Twist is going to be thankful for that. He's taking a bow. 19 frags, 5 assists. JW 19 frags, 6 assists. So both kind of operas at times when they feel like it, doing pretty well for themselves, even without the op. Oh, there you go.
Oh, JW and Crims combining. 2 old dogs doing
This was
a hell of a lot.
this was a investment round from Wendigo as well.
Well, it has to be.
Yeah,
If they
so,
lose this,
yeah.
they're out.
It's like, but that was what they had for the last round. Straight up mid rush with, well, not very good flashes or smoke coverage, and it's well, ships. They make it in towards the B-bomb side, but not for long. Exist and Twist handle that pretty nicely. 16-8 by Fnatic versus a Wendigo team that hasn't been bad at all. I think this was a very solid Fnatic, honestly.
Yeah, no, they definitely look decent. I think obviously you had JW playing well, you had Twist playing well. Like there wasn't really that much of a weakness in the team throughout that matchup.
I think the only one who, I guess, like, and, you know, even if you can call that, you know, it's in quotation mark, you know, if he didn't play well, would have been Broline. But he was doing his part, right? He was stuck in apps, hanging out. And if nobody shows up, then, well, he's going to rotate back off to join the team in Banana if they're going to execute towards B. If he's doing the same thing on the CT side, if nobody actually pushes him, still going to play his position, doing his job. That's all you can ask for him.
I'm pretty sure with his first, like, 3 kills in the whole game, they were all opening kills. So they were all entry kills on CT side. Yeah, that's very true, actually. Like, even though he doesn't have the highest numbers, still definitely pulling in impact. And yeah, can't really complain other than that. On the other side of things, I think Poison had a little bit to show with the AWP. You had a Blocker with a few rounds, like pushing aggressively. But I think they were just so far down from the first half that when it came into the second, it was a couple of mistakes, a couple of missmokes, maybe some nerves coming in versus like Fnatic, and they just never really showed their true game, I think.
Yeah, and I think also what you talked about with this Wendigo team, obviously not as bad as before, but again, like having a tendency to buy up when it's not ideal.
Yeah.
That does come back to bite them, even though they do get a couple of ops, or double ops even at times. Yeah. It's just like, could have spread the wealth a little bit better to give yourself a better chance.
Especially on Inferno.
Yeah, at least it feels that way. Get some more utility instead of just forcing into a couple of rifles each and every time. But, you know, lesson learned. It wasn't their map pick, so they're probably not going to be too upset about having gone down to Fnatic on this one. They're going into Overpass as the next one, so we'll see what they'll put up there.
Well, hopefully we'll see a little bit more flashy plays from Poison, but we'll be back after the break to conclude this best of 2 series. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WSG Grand Finals. And of course, we are going into our second map of Fnatic versus Wendigo. Fnatic with a fairly dominant performance over on the first map of Inferno.
Yeah, definitely. So 16-8. So a pretty good performance out of all the Fnatic players.
Yeah.
Again, solid T side. Not really messing up a whole lot throughout the way. I think the better part of it, like when we saw Wendigo getting a bit into it, was off the back of individual performance more so than necessarily crazy, crossfires and solid team setups, etc. And that can happen. That's not really the Fnatic's fault that happens to them. Now, though, going into Overpass, that's going to be Wendigo's map pick. Expecting to see a bit more of a fight coming in from them on that map. But still, I would lean, in the direction of Fnatic, because this looks way more like the Fnatic we saw at the end, towards the end of the year, when they were again steadily climbing up the world rankings, compared to what we saw at the minor, which was obviously a bit of a disaster.
The only thing that I worry about a bit is I feel like with Inferno, I think Wendigo gave them a little bit too much respect. Like, in terms of the way they were challenging for a banana, a lot of it was like, okay, maybe we'll send a third player over there, we'll try and fight for it. And then when they lost, it was just like, give it up and sit back towards the site. And there were a lot of times, at least early on in that T side, where Fnatic were able to do a full-on Molotov execute on just the B side. Like, they still had 3 Molotovs to throw in and then still have 2 spare for later. It was like, because they just gave up all this map control. I don't think Wendigo are going to do that so much on Overpass, and if they do, I think they're screwed.
Yeah, no, I think that's a key as well. They shouldn't, we hope, and we expect them not to, but if they do, that will be their demise, 100%.
Yeah, and I think that's where we need to see almost the like Bulgarian fire of just like, I want to see Poison taking fights in mid. I want to see him going for those early picks and
100%.
force, like the big thing is force Fnatic to take time to clear things, because I think maybe once or twice they got down to the lower like seconds on Inferno, but most of the time they had a plant with 40 seconds left or something ridiculous. Like, they weren't worried at all. They had a lot of map control. Like, Apps was, I think, attempted to be taken once by Poison. Or no, I think twice. Once he got killed instantly. That was right at the beginning by Brolin. And then the second time he got wrecked by Molotovs and nades and then got killed anyway. So it just never happened again after that.
Yeah. I think what you mentioned as well, forcing Fnatic to actually use their utility. I think one of the easiest way to tell, as a CT side, that you've really got the T side on the ropes is when they have to start using a buttload of utility just to get to restrooms, right? So initially, maybe if Wendigo are still using the aggressive Molotov, for example, for pit, that's a smoke that Fnatic have to expend unless they want to run into potential scopes of poison, right? Or ships, depending on who has spawn or what have you. Up by balloons, and then obviously you have to flash over for long, and then you have to flash over from balloons over towards restroom and playground or bench position, and you have to clear out underpass, and like it becomes a whole thing. So when you finally think to yourself like, whew, okay, we can breathe a sigh of relief.
2 smokes left.
Yeah, exactly. Like, guys, we got restrooms. It's like, oh damn, but we're still halfway to the bomb site.
Yeah.
That's when the real issue sets in, and that's obviously the goal for Wendigo, to put Fnatic in a position where they feel like they have to use a lot of utility to even earn that map control at all.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm hoping we'll see that a bit more from Wendigo, because obviously, like I said, in the last map, up until the end of their T side, where we did see them expend a lot of Molotovs to fight for Banana, it was very easy for them to just take it. Like, okay, maybe they lost like JW a lot of the times along the way, like he was getting picked off by an AWP, but it was always a trade, and it was very easy for them to then execute from then onwards. And it was only, I think, once we saw a retake. And that's just worrying. Like if you're a CT side and there's only one successful retake, something is definitely gone
slightly,
wrong. So hoping for more. Obviously, it is the pick of this side, but I still think, like, I'm not certain on the veto system, but I'm pretty sure it is ban, 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 ban.
It is.
So either way, like, it's not like Fnatic are playing a map that they don't want to play. Like, they've got the 2 bans out the way. They're going to be comfortable playing on this map. So it's not like we're sitting here going, this is the firm choice of Wendigo. They are favorite. No, it's still a prominent map for Fnatic. They're not going to be like worried or uncomfortable. And I think you could see from the video there that JW was laughing away, like having a great time.
Well, so one thing is that the bans from Fnatic, again, fairly new lineup in terms of what they've played in with official games with this lineup. They've been Dust 2 and Train, which are maps they haven't really played all that much, but they hadn't really played Inferno too much either. But then
That's
again,
always been
exactly.
a Fnatic map.
Inferno's like always in the map pool.
It's a Swedish map, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Things like the track record for Wendigo on Overpass, it's their second most played map. They have 24 maps on 24 games on Overpass, and they had 28 on Dust 2, which is their most played one. 83% win rate.
It's pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good. And again, yes, obviously you have to take that with a pinch of salt, considering that Wendigo, they do play a lot of online leagues that are not necessarily Pro League or ECS, etc. So they will play lesser opponents at times, but they've also, kicked some ass here and there. That's safe to say.
Well, yeah, they were in Pro League as well, weren't they?
Yeah, last season, yeah.
So
but they also play like these funky online leagues, like
But like they will have some results, I'm guessing, against some decent opponents. Although when you look at the last few, they are against teams that they should
be
fairly
beating.
easily
But
beat.
yeah, like you've got some names there. Obviously, they've beaten Avantgarde, who I guess first time we saw them on Overpass, they didn't have a map place, but managed to topple Energy. That kind of thing. But yeah, no, they've beaten teams like North on the map, etc. So LDLC, Windstrike, and ooh, all right.
Goodbye.
Poison gets handled.
Yeah, that's not the start you want if you're on the CT side, especially because he was the spotter.
Yeah.
This is the classic stack B, spot A, and the spotter is dead, and they've not moved. They've just stuck with it. I think because it's such a classic play, you almost have to now double bluff. It's like, no. Now we've all rotated to A, so you hope that the T's go B. Instead, the T's have gone, oh, we've killed the 1A player. Let's go A then. And just they've taken full control. They've got the smoke down and ready to block off the remaining CT players. This is going to be a very difficult retake for Wendigo to get back into, especially with the amount of space that's already been taken. Also, JW or Crims has managed to find a USP on the site, which means they can be quite a bit more passive. While Twist, he's not playing passive at all. He's going to go very aggressive and take the fight versus Ships. Loses one, but takes Victor in the meantime. Smoke has gone onto the bomb. They are going for that defusal, but ultimately Ships has been forced off of it and just trying to run away and hold on to the Kevlar. Does at least manage to find one. JW.
This is such a JW move, though.
Oh, he wants the knife. He's not going to get it because
Yeah.
Ships is gone. And actually, Ships will finish him off in the end. Going to die to the bomb. But
JW
ultimately-
straight up just sat himself with the bomb there. Just waiting around. It's like, I know you're going to have to come in here. And when you do, you die. So Ships with the ace, actually, although it doesn't really count, does it? As he
No.
got JW after the fact. But, he gets some bonus money. And this is like, yeah.
You love a FAMAS, don't you?
I can think of better ways to spend my money.
You love a FAMAS.
Oh, God.
I bet you're a secret FAMAS lover. You're just...
It's the only gun I buy.
It's like... You know when you're younger and you're like you treat him mean. That's what you're like with the
Exactly, yeah.
FAMAS. You're like,
I'm pulling-
no, I hate the FAMAS, and
like
then
I'm
secretly you
yeah.
have a picture of FAMAS on
I'm
your
pushing
bedside
and pulling
table.
the Famas' hair
Yeah.
because I secretly have a crush on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. It's been a long time, though, since I've been able to admit that, though. It's been a
It's good to let it all
ongoing
out.
thing. Poison tries to get the peek on long. Doesn't really amount to anything. Well, I guess it does amount to him taking a fair bit of damage. Bubble's in a forward position. He's going to hear this rotation as well. You can see Poison's already decided to bail out with that in mind. Same thing goes for Blocker as well. So they're going to have a pretty good stack here going for themselves.
And they've also got the flank as well. The
Yeah,
problem
he's
is
actually
they've lost that one wonderful rifle.
Oh, yeah. And, well, Twist also heard the rotation coming from behind as well, so Bubble's taken care of.
See, this might be the point where Fnatic actually just go to double back. If they can catch Victor. But the problem is they're actually being caught themselves. Like, Blocker's managed to get one. Victor's gone on a long rotation. The problem is now that T's will be able to get themselves in towards the side. Poison needs to hit some nutty shots, and that's one to
Okay.
start. Manages to connect the headshot onto JW. He seems to be the bad luck child, unfortunately. It won't matter. It is going to be 2-0. Fnatic managed to take that one through. Now, you almost wonder, like, obviously him having that extra money most of the time wouldn't play a part. They want to get the AWP, but if they had ecoed that one round and just got the extra money, would they have had enough to drop an early AWP?
I mean, considering he bought it from us, right?
Yeah.
That's a significant amount of money. That's 2 point, I want to say 1.5?
Yes, they would have already... He must have had 3K, which then, obviously, 2,400 in this round would have been enough.
Yeah. No, he definitely would have had enough.
Yeah, so could have had an early AWP. I actually...
From us instead.
I don't mind the fact that they forced, just because now everybody will have a decent buy going into the next round. They'll have the AWP anyway. And they had the chance to break back. They now have a chance to break back here. They're doing a lot of damage with these pistols. Definitely looking a lot more confident and aggressive in these rounds. Obviously, a little bit different when you have the pistols in play. This is ridiculous. That was a 1v1 duel. The Bubble just won. A USP versus an AK-47. Now, Crims has at least managed to take control of the B site, but in all honesty, this is looking like a Wendigo round.
But at what cost? So they do get the bomb down, and that puts a bit of a timer on Wendigo because they don't have a defuse kit, naturally, as they didn't invest into this round. So they need to get a move on here. They're being really slow about it up on upper here. Twitch is actually going to be allowed to wrap around.
Oh, if he can find this kill, there'll be a 10-second defuse, but it doesn't matter. It's now left all onto Crims. He's got to try and hold this off on his own. It's not going to happen. What a round for Wendigo to take. It is going to be, I think, the round going their way. It just depends on the time.
Yeah, no, they got that. But that's three free AKs, a MAC-10, which I think it was Blocker had from the get-go. But in any case, 3 AKs for free on a non-investment round. But it was just like extremely quick double dinks. That was the name of the game for Wendigo. Like, yeah, you can make a case for Fnatic probably, or Twist, for instance, maybe should be winning out that duel once he pushes up towards upper. Actually, there's no real need for him to push out towards upper, but...
Well, yeah, Brolin as well was in a 1v1 with the USP.
Yeah, but again, it's quick shots being connected from Wendigo as well, so it's not like you need a big mess up on the side of Fnatic to actually get punished really hard when they come in that quick succession.
Well, an early mistake, and they're going to give JW a Catalyst rifle. We'll be able to come in with a buy next round, but ultimately this is the Bulgarians handed a big boy buy. They've still got the 3 AKs that they managed to save. The MAC-10 will be in play on ships. The only bought weapon they have is an AWP, and already it's going to be that MAC-10 making them some extra cash. That's the biggest thing as well. Just look at the cash. They've won 1 round. 3 other players have around $4,000 average. Okay, Poison's a little bit further behind, but he bought an AWP. Now they can look to make even more. This is just padding the bank. 3 players with over $7,000. Or 4, sorry. And they've only won 2 rounds.
Yeah. Well.
They've got as many AKs as Fnatic.
You'd love to see it, don't you? I mean, if you're a CT, you're so happy. This is like the one time you're not going to see Augs. Well, this is about as good of a buy as Wendigo's going to have all game. Almost regardless of how it pans out. They could continue winning, but replenishing those AKs, that's going to be hard. Now then. Passive setup from Fnatic. I mean, they don't really have that much utility to start off of as is. And now we come into the issue, right? Like, because we've seen aggression coming out from Wendigo, especially that USP round, that Fnatic can't necessarily feel too safe about just walking up to places. They might have to use utility. And this is what, I guess, if you're Wendigo, you're hoping to achieve early on. The fact that Fnatic are going to use a lot of their utility just to gain ground. I think in this kind of scenario, Fnatic are being extra stingy just because they know they don't have a lot to work with. So they're willing to take a couple of more risks. JW, though, is going to set up for smoke. It's going to block off the end of long. Might force a bit of a shift in position. As you can see, there's still 3 players on the side of Wendigo towards A.
Well, 35 seconds left. They're going to be forced into a move soon. And Wendigo, they've also been sort of stingy with their utility, which means they've got a lot to hold on to when it comes to this take. Incendiary can go down onto short, which will completely hold back Crims. Now Victor's trying to hold on. It's actually Twist to find the next kill. Brolin with another. Somehow this is actually working out for Fnatic, but they still got to get that bomb down, and it's going to get dropped. Twist now has everything left to do and only 10 seconds to do it. Too many players to look at. Poison will even finish him off through the wall. And Wendigo, they're going to take themselves a third round onto the board, and Fnatic cannot buy.
Well, that swung back real quick in favor of Wendigo. Ships 10-1 and 2. Significant difference from what we saw on the first map. This might be where Wendigo start to mount a bit of a lead. Pistols on the side of Fnatic. Again, we talked about the pretty healthy state of Wendigo's economy. No longer 4 AKs, though.
Yeah, not quite.
Ooh, ships.
What
that?
was that?
I think he jumped
No
on top of the
way.
railing, and Crims got him through the window. Because door was not open.
No.
And Crims was not boosted.
Crims is cheating.
Probably. Let's be real. He's so damn good.
Well, Poison. A little bit of work to do here. Does have the support from Bubble.
Oh, it's such a nicely 10 Molotov.
They're going to go pushing through it, though. He's ready and waiting. JW will be there to put him down, but Bubble's well placed. Needed to connect a little bit more, and this has actually turned into a 2 versus 2. There's an AWP ready. Exist is going to be the one manning it.
It's a good flash, but they don't actually get out. Still have a Molotov here on blocker.
It's become difficult. Jump up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the end game was there.
They already knew where he was.
Bubble hasn't picked up another nade either. He does have a defuse kit, though. Yeah,
He's got it.
Hold it. Yeah.
There's nothing that Exist can do in this scenario. You just had to hope they wanted to take the fight versus him because Exist was way too far away. Free AWP at least for Fnatic and a lot of damage done. However, the CT side economy is booming at the moment. They've made so much cash over the last few rounds that they're going to have no financial constraints whatsoever. Even still, though, that one came a little bit too close for comfort.
Yeah. It's also an issue with the fact that even though, yeah, the majority of them are able to hold on to a lot of money, Poison's been dying rather frequently, and since he's rebuying ops, his bank is gone. At least on Inferno, he seemed to be kind of a catalyst for any sort of success Wendigo had. Seems to be a bit of a different story here this time around, but there you go. That's why you want him on it. Nice flick over to Exist. Bubble there to follow up as well. Doesn't stop JW from moving forward. Continues with what the intended strat was, I suppose. But yeah, Bubble's doing this again. Forward motion towards Fountain. He's going to be able to come behind it. Oh, this is where the bomb is as well. He's going to find the timing here. I think he is. Crims down. Twist follows suit. JW's been sitting up along the entire time, left to his own devices, but bomb is down, in control of Wendigo. And I don't really see this happening.
Yeah, he'd have to pull off something pretty damn impressive to make this one work. A Guardian-esque overpass play.
Ooh, that would be something. Wasn't that against Fnatic?
Potentially.
The old Fnatic lineup? I want to say yes. I could be wrong, though, but I feel like it was that. All right, one down, 4 to go.
Yeah, not much time to play with. And that's the thing, the remaining players could literally just hide. Not going to. They want to get that AWP out of his hands, and they are going to retrieve that for Mr. Poison.
Yeah.
But they have now, like, this is the problem. Like, Fnatic have brought them close over the last couple of rounds, but the fact is when Wendigo do take the round, they seem to be doing it quite cleanly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just making them bank. Like, they have not been... Just remember, they lost 4 players
In the previous
round,
yeah.
and it doesn't even look like it's made a dent.
Yeah, as I said, it's only really Poison who's taken a bit of a hit, and luckily that round they managed to salvage the up for him. Looking pretty good. 5-2, strong start to the CT side. This, though, is one of the better T-side vibes we've seen in a while from Fnatic. An okay amount of utility. And obviously that op in the hands of JW.
T-side. Have managed to gather control, but it seems like Wendigo, at least in the last few rounds, have opted to play quite a bit more passive. Rotation actually coming up, like a heavy rotation coming up towards the A side. They've left Victor alone. That seems to be the right call as well. Wendigo with the read. Nice shot from JW. Will finish off blocker, but is he going to expect Bubble to be in the corner? If he gets this kill, it will leave them with quite a bit of an opener. Bubble definitely hearing all the footsteps JW's making. He's got around the corner and deck him as well. A second for the Swedish AWPer. Another rotation, full rotation comes in from Wendigo. They have everybody on this A site. The Swedes are definitely going to be pushing into them here. They look to make their way forward. Still yet to make a proper play. And the problem is they've only got a single Molotov and a couple of flashbangs. It's just going to have to be a dry push in, effective trading from the Swedes. I think they're trying to add in a shadow of a doubt for this Wendigo side. The fact is it doesn't matter. They kill everybody off. A pretty much 5-man stack from Wendigo on the A site. And they get 1 kill.
Yeah. I guess to their defense, it was a bit of a staggered stack in that sense, but absolutely definitely should have gotten more out of it. But again, Fnatic showcasing pretty solid executes once they actually get towards the bomb site and they have utility. You can see the Molotovs doing a lot of work to keep Poison into a very limited position and eventually just losing a lot of HP to Molotov damage. And it's not like... I feel like the A bomb site on Overpass is deceptively large in that sense. Like, I guess would it be deceptively small? How do I? Yeah, it's a lot smaller than you imagine it is, because you don't need a whole lot of smokes or Molotovs to basically narrow out any sort of useful angle you can have, unless you want to just stand in the open, which is not very advisable.
Yeah, don't stand in the open when people are trying to shoot you, just for anybody wondering. Bit like that.
Yeah, or that. But there you go. That's some utility usage from Fnatic that forces Blocker out into position where he wants to be useful. Obviously, he thinks he can make it into.
We all want to be useful.
Yeah, but very few of us can.
Well,
we have to learn that the hard way.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. My parents instilled that in me from a very young age. Like, you are useless.
You contribute nothing to this family.
Do you know how much you cost me? My dad has actually said that to me before. He's like, do you know how much kids cost? Can you stop being such an ass?
Jesus. All right.
Maybe not the
harsh.
second bit, but the first bit I have heard before. Yeah, kids cost a lot, you know. It's like, yeah, cheers,
like,
Dad.
hint.
Was I worth it? No. Oh, okay, fair enough.
British banter, right? I hope.
5-4. CT side do still have the finances to buy back up, but this is where the economy now starts to dwindle. Those days of $10,000 plus are significantly far behind them. The fact is, though, when they have got close, that's when Wendigo seem to win a clean round. So we're more looking at Fnatic to try and break them, send them packing, and we'll pretty much take the lead.
Bubble not gonna venture down into underpass. Again, they haven't been too aggressive as of late. I think I've liked the aggressive setups that they've had. Obviously, the USP round is a bit of an anomaly, not something you can expect to happen often. But then you had the double setup of Poison and Bubble playing up close by balloons, which led to 2 opening frags. I mean, that kind of stuff seems to be not too shabby. And again, it puts Fnatic in a position where they're not allowed to have every single nade to do this.
Yeah, Molotov's clearing a lot of the angles, forcing these players into the open, and Brolin's going to double down, triple down with the entries. 3 kills for the youngster and leaves, again, it's the same scenario as last round. The remaining 2 players going, no, I don't fancy this one. Yeah, you could see Bubble just waiting for an exit. His teammate Poison is gone.
Oh yeah, he's dipped out a long time ago. The problem is, like, because of how efficient Fnatic were with that, they can start hunting so soon. You can already tell. I think it's Krim's over on the opposite side of the map. He's already starting to sniff out where the potential to Wendigo players might be.
This is interesting. They're
Oh
all
wait, no way,
leaving.
no way is Bubble going for it.
He
If
doesn't even have a kit. Like, he
Did-
doesn't
Bubble
have
has
a kit.
Bubble has a kit.
Oh, he just picked one up.
Oh,
Okay,
he just
baited
tapped
it. Yeah,
Okay,
he's just baited them in, and he's going to kill off one. I think he'll die, though.
Yeah,
so
that not worth.
no. A 1-for-1 trade when Fnatic have way more money. In
Oh
fact,
no, poison. That's so not worth it.
I'm pretty sure that Fnatic were going for trades. So, yeah, a bit of a weird one. Obviously, Poison going down at the end is very unfortunate.
I'm actually curious, like, if Twist is like a couple of meters extra away from that bomb, does he hear the defuse attempt?
I don't know.
Does Bubble just straight up win the round with a ninja defuse?
Only,
Jesus.
well, only the gods will know.
Yeah. Or the ones who check replay. Or the GoTV demo, I suppose. Who knows? In any case, Fnatic have brought it back. Down 2-5, now 5-5, and finally Wendigo are not able to buy up anymore.
Yeah, this is where Fnatic have broken them. And the thing is, they already started making their money over the last few rounds. Their bank is looking pretty good. I will say, Wendigo have been pretty damn good with the pistols themselves, though. So this is a round that Fnatic cannot afford to take lightly. They've already lost one to full USPs, so I feel like they've already had the kick up the backside.
Could hit a new personal record, make it 2. Let's
Well.
see, we got ships tucked away in the corner, but it looks like Fnatic players are already ready to set that. Check that corner. Nexus does. That means Molotov's going to fly out. They don't check water immediately, but still early enough for Exist to find blocker. That's pretty much the end of a round, even though Bubble does find a kill onto JW.
See the remaining CTs looking to try and hold for the exits. No double dinks this time. And Bubble not really in the position to do much. I don't really know why Twist is going this way. I guess maybe just wants to prove his dominance.
Assert
I'll
dominance.
rub your face in the dirt.
Isn't that what? I'm not sure if this is like just taking over in cartoons or not, but like with when dogs misbehave.
What, you just rub their face in the dirt?
No, no, it's like if they pee on the carpet, etc.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's an actual learning technique, so please don't take that. I've never owned a dog.
Yeah. Vendetta is not telling you to bully your dog.
Yeah, please don't. Dogs are way too nice and too cute to ever be mean to.
People, on the other hand,
Yeah, no, I'm
if
not.
you want to rub their face in the dirt, you know, if they deserve it.
Yeah,
of
if they
course.
deserve it, that's probably a key point.
And even then,
I mean, you have to weigh it up a little bit, but some people could use a good dirt rubbing,
yeah,
I guess.
and some people's kids. Ugh.
I think they are a product of
Yeah.
their parents, right? Very often.
Yeah, make sure you rub their parents. No,
Everybody gets a dirt rub in here. We're not shy. We don't discriminate.
Ooh, fast B take coming in from Fnatic. And by take, I mean, well, they're taking very little. Poison has already removed 2 Swedes. He's looking for a few more. Doesn't have himself any armor behind it, but that doesn't seem to matter so far. Trying to get himself a cheeky $500 for the full ace. Ooh, Twist given an opportunity, but gave away his position. And the problem is the second man in that push had the bomb. So that bomb is pretty much as open a position as it can get. Ships also coming in on the flank. And this is exactly what I was talking about. When Wendigo win around, it is always very clean.
Yeah.
5 players surviving.
It's not a bad take at it. And again, Poison finally showcasing himself a little bit more with that AWP, finding 2 frags. He had been on the quieter side, I'd say, so far in this match. And blocker. Okay, yeah, you're still here.
Power nap.
Yeah. Just recharging. Now 3-man setup over towards A. This time, yeah, a bit more aggressive. This is what I wanted to see more of. Bubble kind of just hanging out, sitting in a bit of a bait position. I can't remember who it is who uses this position all the time. I think it's Buster on Avangard, and I'm not a big fan of it, like seeing the op on short like that. Because at best, usually you just get 1 frag, and the likelihood of you being able to like duck out early enough and actually get into a proper position if you get pushed is low.
What, on short B?
Yeah.
I think Rubino always used to play that position a lot. And whenever he'd secondary up for like the old Dignitas roster.
Yeah. Now you were rolling back the years, though.
Yeah,
a
no, I
bit.
really am. I thought you'd like that one.
Yeah, no, I did. I did appreciate it. You can always take some good... hearing nice words about Norwegians. It's always...
I didn't say he did it
Work
well, I just said he did it.
Yeah. I assumed.
I
assumed.
If he's Norwegian, he must have done it well.
If he's Norwegian, he probably did it well. So
He did.
let's
to
be
be
real.
fair. Well, actually pushing into what the quote-unquote stack.
Yeah.
But like, there's only 2 players left, and there's only 1 player left.
The one-man stack of the bomb site.
A 3 HP Ships has got to find 4 kills. So you can't even take a point per player. That's not allowed. Has managed to sneak quite far. Does actually get a first, but yeah.
JW,
Brolin,
of course.
Yeah, always JW. He's the AWP magnet. But yeah, Fnatic bounced back, and it does seem to be the case that, again, we've had this with both teams, like bringing the other team's economy low, then losing rounds, but now Fnatic are the ones that have the finances.
Yeah.
Obviously on the T side, it's quite a bit easier to get purchases, and
That was a pretty nasty reset as well.
yeah.
It's tough to deal with. I'm actually surprised that they get as good of a buy out of it as they did
It was
now.
the 5 alive.
Yep. But this is going to be a bit of an uphill struggle. I mean, Poison has no utility. Ships, the one who's forward on Fountain here, he's the one with the majority of the utility on the side of
Always the
Wendigo.
case.
Yeah, yeah. The island. Well then.
Goodbye.
Blocker is the weakest link.
Blocker
Bye.
tries to use his face to stop bullets, and
It's-
unfortunately didn't work. Ships.
It's not very effective.
Oh, how many can he get here?
Ooh, he's being
This
cold
is
about
smart. Gets the first. Exist actually manages to get behind the wood. Not the best thing to defend yourself with, and oh, Ships is going to get both. He really has been a big part of Wendigo getting the amount of rounds that they have.
this. He's pretty much playing the role that we saw Poison do on Inferno. That's really what Ships has been able to do here for Wendigo so far.
Well, even without the bomb quite on location, the T's are going to be making their way in towards this B site. It has been, well, pretty much their place of happiness, in all honesty. They've been able to do a lot of work on B, and there just hasn't been much to stop them. Like, in all honesty, I think we've seen Victor had a really tough time of holding down this site, and well, now they've got the Scout of Poison, Ships with the AK, and it's not a pretty save, but they've got to bring something into the next round, the final round of
Yeah.
the half.
I think we might see Poison actually try to get towards Playground to pick up another weapon as well. Yeah, he's picked up an AK because
Yeah, Ships gave it to him so he can
Yeah.
just hide, and then he'll go.
he's
in.
low HP as well. So Ships knows exactly where the guns are to be found towards Playground. He finds his old AUG. Fnatic not too keen on actually hunting, it seems. I'm
Yeah.
not going too aggressive. So yeah, when to go. And I think it's very true what you said. I mean, again, not to just single out people necessarily
Yeah.
because of poor performances, but it's, you know, it's so against the norm. Victor is normally one of those pretty consistent performers for Vindigo. You
What?
can kind of expect him to be a big part of why they're having success. And both on the first map and here on Overpass, he's not really found his groove.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't highlight it, you're almost saying as if it's some sort of norm.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's definitely not the case. Like, Victor normally is up there. The problem is we highlight the weakness, and Fnatic definitely have as well.
Yeah.
Because this mid spot hasn't been a weakness. Ships has been fantastic, but even he's going to go down for a 1-for-1 trade. And they've been very happy, like late round, to just go pushing into that B site. And even over the last few rounds, like Blockers had some trouble taking these fights. That's a nice shot from Poison, though. Takes the fight to Fnatic instead, and actually gives them the man advantage. And the T's actually have 2 AWPs, which definitely isn't the best case for opening up these sites.
Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting. Well, okay, yeah, no, that works too, JW.
How? How's he get back around? Is he
Yeah.
going to do it again? If he gets...
Okay, so what's crazy is, so he walks up that, finds Poison on bridge, while there's one guy playing Monster Close Wall and one guy playing Pillar. So there's literally 2 people that could swing it at any given time. And he gets shot at them as he backs out, and then he comes back, ignores those 2 places where he just got shot from to go back to Close. It's like, what?
Well, the thing is, as well, even though he goes down in the end, JW has found a ludicrous amount of information.
Oh yeah, he held Victor there as well. So
He spotted all of the players, and then that's the thing. The second they get that 1 kill on A, they know it's clear because JW's seen everyone else. Had a pot shot at 2 of them. Well, either way, they got to try and retake this one now. An aggressive position from Twist. Miss spray, though. Given an opportunity, it's down to Exist to try and hold on to this one. Only manages the first, and although there's some audacity from the side of Fnatic, it's actually going to be an 8-7 half.
Big round from Victor there to be able to clutch that out. I do think Exist could have opted to. I get the idea behind what he does in the 1v2. Tries to eliminate one early on and then duck out into restroom so he can play the 1v1. Obviously, I think in that situation he will be unbeatable, but I think he still could have played that restroom positions with the bomb plant down as it was and still had a pretty good chance of winning out. Nonetheless, Fnatic do win the half, and considering how it started off, the 5-2 lead on the side of Wendigo, they can't be too unhappy about that.
Yeah, and if you consider as well the scoreboard, like Ship's 19-8.
Yeah, he's pretty
losing
far above from everyone else.
It's Wardell version 2. It's not an ongoing.
Ships and friends.
Yeah, we'll see if they have it on the T side. Of course, it is. I feel like the boisterous Bulgarians with their sort of aggression might be able to pull this one off. The problem is, Fnatic have always been like, what I would say, better known for their CT sides throughout iterations of the rosters. They've had very strong CT sides and questionable T sides on a lot of maps. Like even when Mirage was sort of their bread and butter, you would always go, yeah, they can pull off 13 rounds on the CT side, and they can still lose. So definitely looking to see more of what the Bulgarians can do here.
We'll see then. Not a lot of control being contested for here over towards B. As you can see, Crims is the only player really here with the boost. That's going to be the entirety of the B defense. Other than that, it's just a retake. And I actually would have expected like a couple of more nades if they were going for a retake. Only smoke on Exist to their name. I guess that might go on a bomb. And
I always love this boost.
Yeah. Oh, is he just going to use that to peek? No, okay.
You're hoping for the little peek over the top.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the case, but I don't think it's going to matter.
This works as well. Well, there we go. Okay, well. He knows about it at least.
Yeah.
And there we are.
Absolute slaughter. I think the thing there is, I think you're right in a sense of, I think they were relying on the boost getting them kills rather than
going for a retake.
Yeah, going for a retake. So I think it was the boost gets us 1 or 2, then we retake 5v3. It's not so bad, or 5v4, whatever. Instead, 5v5, it's just unlikely.
Yeah, at that point it becomes like, okay, Exist is going to throw the smoke on the bomb, and he's going to hold the defuse, and everyone else just like get in front of it.
Oh.
We've seen a few people miss that smoke. It was Shoxy yesterday, right? Or smoke, I say Molotov.
Yeah.
Shoxy missed that yesterday as well.
At the same time, he was also just headshotting everyone, so
yeah,
he can be
that
forgiven.
is very true. Yeah, for him, it probably feels weird to like miss a target, like in that sense, because he's like, well, there's a wall here, and I can hit it with my Molotov instead of just like throwing something into the air.
JW goes for the suicide play. We got the boost in. Fnatic and Boost, name a more iconic duo.
Cheeky overpass boosts. This one, though, a little bit more PG-13.
Yeah. No one can get angry over this one, because it's been used by a lot of people.
Yeah.
In fact, even I've used this boost, so that means it can't be anything dodgy, because I suck.
I mean, I used the Fnatic boost before Fnatic used it at the major.
What, the dirty one over the top of the map?
Yeah, everybody on Face It was using it. I never understood how it was such a big deal. I didn't grasp how LDLC couldn't actually find it, because given the angles that you die from, there's extremely limited places you can get shot from.
So basically what you're saying is
LDLC were garbage.
That's not the way I was going to go, but
no, but actually, like on that overpass game, they were 100% garbage at actually just deducting where they were getting shot from, because we used that at like every single Face It game we would play. Like 2 weeks before the major started, we would use that boost on overpass, and it would literally take a round or two before the opponents started just like shooting back at us with scouts from T-spawn. So I mean, if everybody else was able to figure it out, how are you not, as top 2 team in the world, not able to deduct this?
They do say that cheaters know how to cheat, Vendetta. So
yeah, no, I mean
clearly you're just a filthy cheater, and that's why you knew everything.
Exactly. Go Norway.
Welcome back with the Norwegian team.
Oh, they've got so many boosts that you've never seen before.
You've been sending them clips.
Oh yeah. All right. Twist just lurking right around the corner. Little do the Wendigo players know that this could be such a quick rotation.
Twist
Oh,
as well.
Twist. No.
Ace. The problem is they've already lost both players on B, and well, Twist isn't going to connect any shots anyway, so doesn't really make a difference. JW looking to try and hold on to that AWP now. So many damage players on Wendigo, but ultimately it doesn't matter.
That was a bit weird from Twist. It's like cool enough to let people pass and everything. It seems like he almost gets flustered or a little bit panicked by the fact that the entire A or B side defense just kind of fell apart. They started shooting way too soon.
I've got to do it all now, otherwise we are screwed.
Well, I guess in that sense he was a bit right. Oh. Okay, Victor's starting to come alive here in the second half.
Yeah, and that's going to be the complete wipe of Fnatic. Of course, loss bonus a bit higher because of the change, but ultimately they've still got to wait another round before they can get a buy on the board. And this is the chance for, well, a bit of a bonus round. The last one was more of a bonus round with all the SMGs and Galils. Instead, they've had a slight upgrade on Bubble. Did Poison have the ult before? I don't think he did.
I think that's JW's.
Yeah, so that's a big upgrade.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Poison killed JW with an AK.
Oh, okay. Well, this is their chance to make a little bit of extra cash. Brolin, that is super aggressive. He was focused on that one player and instead gets met by Victor.
Was hopeful.
And this would be a great time for Victor to build into this game. Like, with everybody else already firing. Great map coming in from ships. This is going to try and save JW, but the rescue mission is a failure. Better luck next time. Unfortunately, well, he'll meet his doom as well. Crims and Twist hoping to do a little bit of extra damage, and considering the economy that's already been built up by Wendigo, courtesy of the bonus round and picking up a lot of the Fnatic weapons, it's important. Like, they want to start dropping along the way, otherwise they might not be able to break the Wendigo bank for quite some time.
Well, we did it. At least hope to see more of a push being made by Wendigo on overpass, and we're getting that wish fulfilled in many ways. Grim's Twist. I might hope to land a couple of deagle shots, but still though. Okay, that's bomb as well. That's going to get pushed forward too on bridge.
Yeah, they don't actually have much utility. It's just that 1 HE.
Well, they do have a smoke on ships. And ships is not going to use it because Blocker's just going to kill everyone. Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
Too.
Yeah, they didn't want to wait for ships to come around. End result is the same though. Wendigo at 11, Fnatic 8. Yeah, so far T side looking swift for the Bulgarians.
Still the first proper buy that we get from Fnatic, though, of course.
Yeah, like for proper.
Yeah.
Had a one rifle round, which was I guess so.
Flash out, trying to set up Poison.
None of these teams so far have used the aggressive Molotov that we saw, have they?
No, I think we saw it a lot yesterday.
Yeah, we saw it a lot. So I kind of figured that that would be again something we would have seen out of either team, really.
Ooh, JW's going to get caught running away. Smoke was down. Brolin's actually the same on long. I think he was trying to refrag off the back of JW's death, and instead there's now a 2-man advantage in the favor of Wendigo. A fantastic start to this round. Still so much time left on the clock, and already a huge disadvantage for the Swedes.
It's been a real difference maker, the fact that Victor has been able to get into the groove of things. He was hitting at 2 frags going into the last round of the first half. Now he's at 11.
Damn.
So he's been picking up double kills left and right. I mean, with how much firepower really there is on this Wendigo team now, that get everyone going. Pretty hard team to stop, almost regardless of who you are. And overpass seemingly very much a comfort pick for them. Now they're going to move slowly towards that B-bomb site. This is where the majority of the Fnatic players are. Good flash. Takes Crims out of position. Still manages to find one though, but quick trade from ships. Exists. Tucked away into water here. Oops, okay. Slow and steady wins the race. Now Twist stuck in Neo. Does have an AUG, but it's not going to be enough to deal with 3 Angry Bulgarians shooting at him. Wendigo can't be stopped right now.
Yeah, what's that, streak of 5?
It's yeah,
5 rounds
perfect.
in a row.
Perfect second half so far.
Well, in all honesty, there doesn't even seem to be anyone stepping up against them just on even on the scoreboard. Like, they don't have anyone close to ships. We've had, as you said, the resurgence of Victor, and the rest of the team never really stopped. So
Good signs all around.
yeah, the T side looking strong, and up until next round, there's not going to be that much resistance. A scout for Crims, some upgraded pistols, and it's close. Twist won't get the opener. Crims hopeful to try and find the scout shot through the wall, but isn't going to net anything just yet. They've got to be a little bit careful of JW, alongside Brolin as well. This tag team of players looking to try and get a bit aggressive, but I was going to say, Ship seems to be aware of it, but
How did JW see anything?
Getting a bit dicey, actually.
Hello, blocker?
Just pushes into the crossfire.
He knew that there was a crossfire there as well. That was very strange.
Now left in a troublesome situation. Bubble very low. Poison. Okay, he has the AWP. Are they going to juggle them across?
Oh, the timing. Poison just checked behind himself about 2 seconds before Brolin turns around the corner, and I think this is pretty much the end of the round. Right, they somehow managed to circumvent all of the Fnatic players. And this actually might give an idea to Brolin that they've gone down underpass.
Yeah, it does. I think they're actually starting to rotate players off. The thing is, they've got a player at the bottom of the connector.
Yeah.
So they should realize it quite quick, but that false positive can actually change the round, because now there's a chance for them to actually get a strong after plant position. They've got to get it down quickly, of course, otherwise the flank will be coming in, and that's going to be Brolin. He's going to be very well placed. He may even be able to deny the plant. He's going to be close, but it doesn't matter. He's already found the first. He's left onto Poison 1 versus 3, but he can't do anything. Fnatic, well, just as they seem to be falling away from this, letting it slip a little bit, they went around from nothing.
Yeah, very much nothing as well. A couple of peculiar decisions being made by Wendigo players there, blocker specifically. It's like unforced errors like that that's really going to come back to haunt you. Luckily for them, though, they have had such a good start to the half that they can still buy up and feel pretty comfortable about where they sit, just money-wise, but you don't want to throw away too many of those. This could have been, 13-8, much more pressure on the side of Fnatic. Obviously, a lot more money having to be spent on their side as well, considering, they have 2 AKs now that they didn't have to spend money on, and as well as an AWP.
Oh. Well, you got the Molotov you wanted at the beginning.
There we go. Love to see that.
And the thing is, I don't think anybody actually pushed anywhere near it.
No.
So the utility wasn't wasted, because the T's currently all heading over in towards the B side. Door blown off. Exist is going to be waiting around the corner now. Again, this is going to be Twist taking the angle. Exist, actually, Twist didn't take the angle. He sort of just faded away for a second, and that was enough for Exist to be taken out and him having to re-peek into multiple players. Everybody on Fnatic has gone down. What was such a successful pistol round has turned into decimation in the rifle round. They have got nothing done. And Brolin is just running as fast as little legs can carry him. Trying to hide away. He is probably still about the right age for playing hide and seek. Then again, I don't think you're ever too old for hide and seek.
It's very true.
That's actually what we're going to be doing after we finish.
I don't know what we deal with, like, every talent manager we have. It's like, guys need to be here for call time.
Yeah.
It's like, Well, it's a quick retort, at least, from Wendigo. Though the one upside here for Fnatic is the fact that they did win an eco round. So even though they do get reset, it's not as big of a loss as it potentially could have been. That's why you see an AWP in the hands of JW. An M4 on Brolin. Moss on Crims, and then 2 ZZs. And match medic situation, perhaps? I'm hoping. I'm guessing.
Yeah? No, I don't know why. I think maybe Victor dropped. Doesn't currently have a gun. I don't know.
Could be.
But something was definitely called, because you don't just stop and run back the other way.
It's a new feature. Oh, well. Wendigo are looking prime, really, though, to be able to actually snag a map off of this. And if I remember back correctly, we talked about this before we led into the match completely. Because they've won 2-0 versus Movie Star Riders already, with a 1-1 here, they would be guaranteed for playoffs.
Yeah, it would mean that even if
Movie Star Riders were to beat them,
yeah, it wouldn't matter. They would be through. So
yes.
An important victory. Obviously, the top seed would still be up for grabs. I think that would be based off round difference or something. So, not the ideal scenario, but still an important victory for them if they can manage to pull it off. There has been the force buy, though, but that's a nice start from Ships. He continues his reign. He's been fantastic throughout this map.
25 frags. Well, actually, 27 with that.
Ooh, that's messy. JW just about gets away with that one.
Oof.
Roland needs this kill, and well, it's all in vain anyway. They know where JW is. They know he's low.
Is he going to actually get the rotation in before they go up? Yeah, he is. Bomb is actually solitude. Like in solitude over towards long. They need to move up with bubble and blocker before Poison shows.
Oh, actually, never mind. He's managed to find the kill. This is actually a chance now for JW. He's going to go and reposition. Knows that the remaining players are over towards short, so going to try and take a different angle. Or is he just... Okay, Ivan, I'm
second guessing himself?
What was going on?
Because he did see the bomb, surely.
Yeah. So he made so much noise doing that as well, so they knew exactly where he was. That was really weird.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Because it looked like it was Wendigo making a mistake, giving JW a prime opportunity to actually clutch it out, and then he decides to say no to the invitation, I guess.
All I can think of is that either A, he just was opting to save and then change his mind, or he didn't realize he killed the bomb planter or the bomb carrier, and then started running away, and someone went, you know he had the bomb, right? And then he started running back again.
Yeah.
Either way, Crims with a decent start.
That Ship's down. Heavy hitter.
Yeah, I think he was just playing a Mac-10 in this round, so there wasn't any chance for a weapon to be picked up.
Even still, though. Seems like Ships has been making it work with pretty much any weapon he's had in his hands.
I'm going to try and put Crims in position, but already Twist will fall. Definitely hasn't had the best second map.
No.
Always known for being a little bit hit and miss.
Yep. Very promising in the first one. Poison. Finds exist as well, and cool and calm, collected take from the Wendigo boys.
Goodbye.
So nice transfer there. Gets a little bit of help from teammates in terms of damage assists, but that's still going to be a 15th round for Wendigo. Fnatic backs against the wall, and Wendigo, well, I think they'd be hard-pressed not to be able to qualify at this point.
Yeah, I think the pressure's just going to be on
Look at the
next match.
Look at the kind of high Fnatic are coming into this round with. You know, we've seen some nice scout shots and whatnot land, but can't say I'm too convinced that this is going to go the way for Fnatic.
Yeah, they need a definite hero play here, especially considering it's looking like we're about to see a swarm onto this B side once again. It has been a tough defense from both sides on this B side. They have not enjoyed it at all, and Crims still manages to take one with him. I don't really know how, but he will hold on at least for a second. Twist is going to get absolutely nothing done, and the remaining two players are Brolin and JW, normally the aggressors over towards that A site. Flashbang, absolutely perfect though, will give Brolin a kill. Even still though, this is a difficult scenario to take, and JW will already fall. It's left all onto the youngster to try and save them in this map, and it is not going to be happening. It is Wendigo to take themselves the victory, as they do get themselves the 1-1. Probably wanted to put up a bit more of a defense when it came to Inferno. I still think they'll be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think whatever kind of disappointment you had about the Inferno matchup, you can kind of make up for that with what they did on Overpass. That was very promising. And again, that's even with a bit of a faltering C2 side. They started off 5-2, lost grip of things. Fnatic came back into it. That could have very easily spiraled for them. But instead, pretty much have a perfect T side, only dropping one round.
And it does make the group actually a bit more interesting, because it means that last game between Movistar Riders and Fnatic is actually pinnacle for both teams. If,
Yeah, winner goes through.
Yeah. Well, not even that. If Fnatic draw, they're through.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that would be a win in their book,
Yeah,
pretty much.
and then but they would
But
not
Movistar
go
needs a
through.
2-0.
Yeah, and obviously I think rounds will play a part whether or not Fnatic can get
Yeah.
the top seed. So
What we do know is that Wendigo has made it.
yeah, Wendigo have got through to the playoffs,
Mm.
or either first or second seed, depending on how Fnatic do versus Movistar Riders. And the Spaniards have the chance, if they can win 2-0, that they will knock Fnatic out of the tournament very early on. So that would not be the way they want to come back after what happened in the major. So
Yeah, or what happened like at WESG last year.
Yeah.
Returning champions.
yeah,
right?
that is true. They are returning champions. Either way, that is it from me and you for today. But there are still more best of twos to come. You'll be joined by Sponge and Stunner after the break.